So we're going to try this again. This is so strange. So strange. I'm not even in the mood to go live just that fast. I've been turned off from going live, bro. That really just annoyed me. Oh boy. All right, we're gonna get this right though. All right, so we're live now. I'm pretty sure you all can hear me now because the back end stuff is taken care of. It's crazy. We're going to be discussing, man, just a little bit about some updates. If you're a Patreon member, then, or if you're a paid Patreon member, then you would know that I already discussed this a couple of days ago. I dropped an exclusive video. Maybe it was early yesterday, where I sort of addressed. I just said that this investigation has gotten kind of weird, in my opinion, and I believe it's going to continue to get weird. I specifically addressed the whole Blake Bednarz thing a few days ago. A lot of you all was not rocking with my opinion, and that's all right. I'm okay with you all giving me some pushback, and I'm also okay with you all holding me accountable when I'm either wrong or I maybe don't have the entire story. I'm not upset about that. I love that about you all. We hold each other accountable, and you all keep me on the target. I want to clear up some things. We're going to react to Ian Carroll's video. Not all of it. It's an hour long. We're probably going to react to like maybe the first 20 minutes of it, 30 minutes of it. And then we're going to react to Jesse on Fire. Shout out to Jesse on Fire. Shout out to Ian Carroll. They had some things to share because now I have my own experience with Blake Bednarz. And bro, if you see this video, it's your fault. It's totally your fault, dude, because your reputation precedes you. And I didn't even necessarily, quote unquote, take up for Blake. I did in a way, but I was more so taking up for truth. And he was asking some fair questions. And I stand on that. And I'm going to reiterate that in today's live. He asking fair questions about this investigation, right? I've told you all that I'm not going to spend most of my time totally dedicated to posting everything only about Charlie Kirk. I stand on that, as I'm currently working on another project that I recorded right before I went live. That's why I said, like, and then it was time to go live. I started having issues, and I'm like, bro, what's going on here? Right? I just used StreamYard. There was no issues. And then StreamYard, right before I went live, was like, there's a high amount of traffic. Give it at least 60 seconds before you log back in. I'm like, what are you talking about? But anyways, I'm going to digress too much. I'm going to repeat some of the things I said on Patreon. I'm not going to repeat all of them. Not because I'm not honest, but because that's why you're a Patreon member, because you get total exclusivity on my opinions on some of these topics, some hypocrisies and some double standards I've noticed. But I'm gonna give you all some raw emotion and opinion here, because again, Blake did ask some fair questions about things that he's noticed. I'm gonna just give you a heads up. I like Ian. I like a lot of things that he shares, but I'm gonna disagree with Ian in some of his video because I'm objective when it comes to anybody, right? Like whether that be my favorite, music artist, whether it be Candace Owens, whether it be my favorite politician, which I don't have a favorite politician, but you get my point. But Blake has started off on the wrong foot with me as well. I know a lot of you are going to say, see, we told you, Didi. I never denied that. In the video, I said, I'm not here to refute or take up for Blake as a person. I don't know the dude. He may be controlled opposition. I don't know. But the questions that he's asking are fair questions, or some of them were fair questions regarding Candace, and they still are fair questions. But we'll get to that. He started off on the wrong foot with me because he reached out the other day during my live. That's why they said we told you, Didi. I never denied that. That was never in question. But Blake reaches out to me on live and says, hey, Didi, have me on. I'd love to interview with you, or something along those lines. So you're going to pay money. I don't care if it's just $2. You're going to pay your money to reach out to a stranger in me and ask to come onto the show. I don't know who you are because I had missed those 2 episodes of Candace's show. And all of a sudden, all of this blows up. A lot of you all are sending me information about who Blake is, why I shouldn't trust him. Some of you all were like, Didi, go and check out the story Jesse on Fire shared it with him. You shouldn't have the guy on your show. He's not to be trusted. He's a snake, all these things. And my opinion is, I hear what you're saying. Thank you all for informing me. But if the guy got something to say and I feel like it's important enough, or I could even expose the person, I still love to have him on and have a conversation and converse about some of the things that he's sort of wanting to get out. Because again, He's asking some fair questions, right? All of this blows up. I go live the other day and I say, look, I'm not here to defend this guy's past. I understand he's a convicted, maybe a convicted felon, or he's lied to people in the past. He's been a proven liar. All these things, I've never denied that. But what I said was, what I can defend is the things that he's asking, which are fair questions, and how people are misconstruing. And what I mean by misconstruing is, a lot of you all are saying, why is he so hell-bent on Candace posting this video footage? And my response to that was, and still is, well, her simply sharing a footage can't set up Candace. Candace can share that footage and do what Candace has always done. She's a very intelligent person, which is she could respond and say, she could react to the footage and say, these are not my words. These are not my opinions that Brian Harpole is responsible for what happened to Charlie. I'm reacting to someone else's video and I'm going to give you my thoughts. My thoughts are not necessarily Blake's thoughts. She could easily do that. Simply reacting to the video isn't setting up Candace. Also, I said on Patreon, you have to be consistent. What do I mean? You can't argue Blake is trying to set up Candace by sending her the video, trying to force her to show it so that she can then be sued by Brian Harpole, but also in the same breath arguing he never sent her the actual footage. Which is it? Did he send her the footage to set her up, or did he never send her the footage? You got to pick one. That's all I'm saying. All right? That's all I'm saying. Somebody said, why did he just want Candace to show it? This is another thing I want to address before we get into Jesse's video, because I think I want to react to Jesse's video first, and then we'll get to Ian Carroll's. This is why, from my perspective, and I spoke a little bit about this on Patreon, link is in the description, by the way. This is part of the reason why I 100% understand where Blake is coming from. If you all remember, a few months ago, several months ago, Brian the Auditor came onto the channel and he dropped the groundbreaking Doge-style effort audit of TPUSA. No one had done that publicly up until that point. Brian the Auditor was the first one. I have several videos on this channel that has done triple the amount of views. Yet, I've never had a video more impactful and more powerful than Brian the Auditor's original video. He's since been on the show 3 or 4 other times. But this first video was groundbreaking. I woke up the next morning, I was like, whoa. You would have swore this video did 5 million, 10 million views. It was all over Twitter. Everybody was sharing it. Brian let me know that, I'm not going to say who, certain people was reaching out, certain big names. There are teams that reached out trying to get in contact with Brian and trying to get him onto their show. The video made so much noise that Candace saw the video. Candace reacted to the video, or she commented under the video. She gave her thoughts. She made some corrections, some things that we had said about Candace in the video. We was a little bit critical of Candace, a lot of critical of Charlie in the video, as far as like his potential role in who he got in bed with, who he was doing business with, the people that were funding him, right? These are all legitimate things that we questioned in the analysis video. We did all of it in one. It was over 2 hours long. We questioned Officer Tatum, right? It was all in one. Candace, when she commented under the video, she said she liked the video. She appreciated it. She thought it was good work. And she also said that she made some corrections about her past, you know, the businesses that she's done, Blexit and all things of that sort. She did what she was supposed to do. If we share something that was incorrect, she corrected us. Great. She didn't seem upset about it. She also said in the comment that she would share a portion of Brian's audit on her show. Cool. Because Brian is a bit nervous about getting too much attention, which I relate to that despite the fact that I'm always on camera. I don't want too much exposure because of some of the things I cover. It can get tricky. That's all. Brian, because he feels this way, he shared that with me in private. I reached out to Brian, let him know, hey, man, Candace commented under the video. I think we were actually live when she commented under the video, and Brian was on. And I let Brian know publicly and in private, hey, man, look, she's going to react to it. She says she's going to react to it tomorrow. You know, I know you're kind of weird about that type of stuff. Don't want you to be too uncomfortable. Just giving you a heads up. The next day comes, the next day goes. Candace's next show comes, her next show goals. The day I was like, oh, well, maybe she's being, as a lot of you all would say, strategic. Long story short, as a lot of you all know, she never shared the audit. Cool. She's not obligated to, not a big deal. I was confused about it. I was like, well, if the goal here was to figure out what happened to Charlie, this is the biggest podcaster in the world, depending on the day, right? She has the most exposure, right? The most reach than any of us combined, right? And shout out to her because she's earned it. If the goal is to figure out what happened to Charlie, then this guy who has no dog in the fight, sharing his audit or a portion of his audit would have been a great look. Hey, look, this could have been a motive. The FBI could have saw that. This could have been a motive as to why they took out Charlie. Look at this. I don't know why. I still to this day don't know why Candace never shared Brian the Auditor's work. I don't know. Zach from Wolves in Finance did an incredible job, by the way. Shout out to Zach. Found a lot of the similar things that Brian found, because the numbers are the numbers. If you do an audit, you're going to find the same discrepancies. The moment his came out, Candace shared it on her show. I don't know what the reason is for that. But when it happened and Brian the Auditor and I reacted to that, a lot of you all in the comment section was saying that we were jealous. Huh? A lot of you all were saying we were upset that we didn't get the attention. I'm like, no, like, in all honesty, I'm not Brian. I can't feel for Brian. But if I was Brian, maybe an incy bincy tidy beady eedy weedy part of me would feel that way, like, because it would make sense. You're only human. You were the first to do this. It's a lot of work that went into that. Brian had started doing it well before September the 10th. Brian had been doing an audit of TPUSA for I think 6 years or something crazy, 5-6 years. He had been doing it for a while. But I have no reason to be upset or jealous. It wasn't my work. So all I'm saying is I relate to what Blake is saying. Like, it does make sense. Like, why isn't certain things being shared when they're being shared? You all's response is typically, well, Candace is being strategic. You don't know Candace Owens. You don't know what she's being. You've never spoken to her a day in your life. Right? Maybe she is being strategic. But you all are speculating, just like that's all we have is speculation. So from my perspective, all I'm saying is I relate to that. I was confused too. I was like, oh, why wasn't this shared? Like, aren't we trying to figure out what happened? So that's all I'm saying, that I totally relate to for sure. But you all gave me pushback as well. I'm not after Candace. I'm not secretly working with TPUSA to set up Candace, right? You know what I mean? So just from that perspective, that's all I'm saying. Hit the like button on your way in if you have not done so as of yet. I would really, really appreciate it. And with that, we're going to react to the first video, which is Mr. Jesse on Fire. Let's see, where is it at? Here it is. Okay. It says Candace just broke this guy. So I'm gonna react to. I'm gonna let the video play, and then of course I'll chime in.
This is just embarrassing, man. Embarrassing. He's like, oh, hey, I've got some spotlight. Candace talked about me on her show. You're like, hey, man, what are you gonna do with the attention? He's like, I'm gonna make sure that no one respects me and I embarrass myself. It's like, all right, that's one way to go. So if you don't know,
all right, that's fair.
Who Blake Bednarz is, you're going to find out right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys do know, but if you don't know my history with him, he flaked on our debate that he campaigned for 2 months, 3 months even.
Actually, I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I'm going to get back to this immediately. I promise you I will. Don't be upset with me. I just read a comment. I looked at the comments, and that actually reminded me of a couple of things. Some corrections I need to make. Corrections that some of them already made, or some clarifications that I made in my original live. But corrections I've already made on Patreon and on YouTube strictly for my channel members, only because I wanted to get that out over the weekend. But let me make these corrections or these clarifications where it's important to make the corrections. One of the corrections is, and I think I made this in the original video, so this isn't news. Yes, I did make it in the original video. Candace never said that Blake did not send her any videos. Candace said that she never got the full lengthy 11, 12-minute plus video, but she did receive clips from him. Based on what Blake provided us, he provided proof that he sent Candace Owens something. We do not know if it's the full video. Somebody on Patreon, which is why I love you all, because y'all keep me on my toes, did provide some information. And I've exited out their name, but we're going to read this together just so you all know that this is real. This person says, I put no one on a pedestal. I only follow truth. That said, I like Candace, but I honestly don't know what the truth is here. I do know what my gut has been telling me from jump. I've been aware of Blake for a while now in relation to this case, and I have been witness to his foul behaviors and snake moves and many different people. So I honestly don't know if I'm being biased because of it, but there are a few details that don't sit right with me. Blake, number one, Blake mentioned two different ways of how he obtained the footage in the first place. First, he said he got it from someone who was there, which is very suspicious. It's sus because he has never said who he received it from, and it just so happened to be the quote unquote best, most clear footage available, almost like it was a prearranged situation. I totally agree that that is a fair assessment to make. That is a fair assumption to make, because if you're going to say that you got it, first of all, you got footage that nobody else, including Candace Owens, wasn't able to get access to. Why not say who the student was? So I can actually verify that I did hear him share two different versions or slightly different versions of how he got it, because he said he got it from somebody from the campus. Then he said he bought it from somebody from the campus, which in both scenarios, that means he got it from someone from the campus. But in one, he got it for free. The other, he bought it. So which is it? And you're about to hear this right here. Then this person goes on to say, but then Blake said he quote unquote was not able to purchase. Which is it? Both scenarios sound pure suspect. Second, I kept questioning from jump that we transfer that Blake showed. That file that Blake showed, it shows the file size being, let me get this banner out of the way, 3 gigabytes, and later mentioned it being a 4K video. While I honestly have no idea how that correlates to minutes, so I Googled it, and according to Google, it would be anywhere from 5-10 minutes long. Therefore, how do we know it wasn't only 5 minutes? For me, the proof fell short. So let me go to the next image, because this person was cooking, and I give credit where it's due. Where is it at? Proof fell apart right there, because Candace Owens didn't deny that Blake sent her a clip here, a clip there. So not trying to defend Candace, but Blake's receipt, according to what Google told me, turned out to not be a receipt to me. That's fair. Number 3, the fact that only Blake was included in the lawsuit is a major red flag. Major. There are plenty of other very small channels that I have personally watched who have also made the same claims against Brian Harpo, friends with Matt being just one of them, one of the small channels, and Matt is a small content creator. Blake allegedly is not. Blake allegedly only got online on YouTube to quote unquote present the information allegedly, but somehow was found by Mel, who does have her own channel, and was put in touch with Candace just a few days later. And I'm not assigning any guilt to Mel either, because I don't know how Mel even learned of Blake. Same here. That would be an interesting and possibly very telling detail to know. In the beginning, that seemed innocent enough, but now I don't know. 4, I've been witness to Blake's crash outs on X, sweating the crap out of Candace, bordering harassment, getting mad at her and going after her, threatening to expose their texts because he felt that Candace Owens wasn't showing the whole Teryl Farnsworth video, because Blake felt like it was Candace who had cropped the footage that she showed on her show. And yet when Niecy did her last episode on the camera angle TPUSA usually shot of Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens went back on her show to show us allegedly the whole video she had on her FaceTime convo with Teryl. showing that it was Teryl who had cropped and edited the footage and not Candace. I don't even know if Candace knew about Blake's crash outs regarding the topic because Candace was reacting to Niecy's episode. I'm not sure if Candace Owens had maybe blocked Blake by that time. It seems I may have heard at some point, but not sure. I'm sharing this because that's a fair assessment, and that's totally good reason to be suspicious of Mr. Blake Bednars. No pushback from me. The only thing I would add, or the only thing I would say, is that I also found it interesting that a lot of people gave Blake pushback. It's the only thing I will say. They said that they found it suspicious, as you're about to hear Ian Carroll say later in this live. He said he found it suspicious because Blake decided to record Candace, the FaceTime call with Candace, without Candace's permission. And other people in the comment section said that that was weird and that's a red flag. I personally disagree that that's not necessarily a red flag. But nobody found it a red flag that Candace Owens, she screen recorded her call with Teryl Farnsworth, by the way, as she should have. But nobody was calling that weird. None of you all said that that was weird. She did that without Teryl Farnsworth knowledge and without his permission, most likely. So all I'm asking for is consistency. That's all. That's the only thing I would say. The rest of the stuff about Blake, I'm totally in agreement with. Totally in agreement with. So with that, let's go ahead and hop right back into this reaction of Mr. Jesse on Fire.
Jesse, have me on. Come on, let's debate. And behind the scenes too. Let's do this thing, man. Let's do it. And I was like, all right, man. Let's have a debate. Now, Blake is, I'm sure if you're watching this, you already know who he is. But he has had a huge problem with Candace, right? And he had released a hidden video that he took of him talking to Candace. And so I did a live stream about it. I was like, this guy's got some brass balls, man. You know, I'm like, I never understand people who are like, yeah, I'm going to pick a fight with her. It's like, you sure, dude? Have you been watching the movie that is her life? Because people don't generally fare very well when they pick fights with her. Like, I can't think of anybody, actually, who has done very well, you know? That's one of the reasons that I was always undefeated in any kind of, you know, conflicts that I pick is I'm really good at picking opponents, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you here, bro. Like, this is, respect to Jesse. This isn't like no beef with Jesse at all. I don't agree with that. You know, if you feel like you're not necessarily Blake, but I'm just saying in general, if you feel like you're on the side of truth, who cares if you're going up against Goliath or whoever? Stand on truth. Fight up against anybody. It doesn't matter how popular or how much reach that person has. Stand on it. Don't cower out because, man, that person is very popular and they've gotten over on other people and they got more resources than I do. I don't agree with that. Also, I don't know if it's not to just keep repeating myself. I don't know if it's that big of a deal that you recorded somebody without their permission. Candace did it, right? Like if you feel like I've given reasons before on Patreon, and I believe in the last video, but I'll repeat them here. There's multiple reasons to record somebody or record a phone call with somebody without their permission. Yes, you can look at that as sneaky, sure, but there are other reasons why people do it. One of those reasons is because let's remove Candace, let's remove Blake. Let's say that Bob is on a call with Susan. Susan later says that she never said certain things during that call. Well, if Bob recorded that phone call and it's very important to prove this, he has the evidence. Why does she choose to lie about that? Susan, why lie? Another reason is because if Susan is one of the most popular podcasters in the world, I don't know, like number one, I don't know, Susan's tied to Kanye West. I don't know, Susan is literally getting tweeted about by herself by the freaking president of the United States of America. I'm on a FaceTime call with that person. The average Joe Schmo, I'm not talking about another popular person or another YouTuber. I'm saying the average Joe Schmo is going to be very tempted to want some type of proof. I actually spoke to this person one-on-one. I feel kind of special. Whether you like Susan, hate Susan, love Susan, feel indifferent about Susan. Kind of a big deal to get a FaceTime call with that person. I think we can all agree on that. And further proof that he was probably sort of fanned out is that if you all remember the text messages that he showed, what did he say to Candace Owens in those text messages? He asked Candace Owens for a favor. If she would send him a short video wishing his son a good game, I think it was a baseball game or a soccer game, wishing them a good game and hoping that they win. He said that his son was a big fan of Candace and that he would really appreciate it before his game. People who are fanned out want you to send videos to their kids. It's the equivalent of getting an autograph. So in fairness to him, I don't think that's necessarily suspicious because you recorded your phone call with her.
No, I'm not like the toughest guy. I'm not the smartest guy. I just am really good at picking people out where I'm like, nope. That's a person you want to be your friend, not an enemy. Blake Bednarz, kind of the opposite. Anyway, so he called. He's like, Jesse, let me come on your show. I want to talk about it. So I literally had him on the live stream, and then we agreed to do the big debate thing. And then 10 minutes before we started, he flaked and told me this big sob story about he's retiring because of blah, 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 blah. And then he just went on some other guy's channel the next day. And man, I got some info on that dude. See, that's what I'm saying, dude.
That's extremely that's extremely weird by Blake. Like, that's a very weird thing to do. Like, why are you agreeing to come on somebody's show and then later backtracking, potentially lying about the reason you couldn't come on, talking about real life consequences if you decided to come on? And I don't know, that's weird to me. That's very strange to me. I totally agree with Jesse there. And I've experienced that. As I stated at the beginning, Blake comes onto my show. I've never heard of him. I wasn't aware of all of this. He comes on, asks me, hey man, let's link and let's go live together and let's talk. And then he starts getting all this backlash from people. I reach out to the dude. He won't even respond to me. He makes all of his videos on his private, either unlisted or private. So when you go to his YouTube channel, there's no videos listed. You go to his Twitter, there's nothing there. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, he reactivates everything, makes everything public again, but he won't respond to me on Twitter. He won't respond to me on YouTube. He won't respond in no regard. What are you doing, dude? Everything that everybody's saying about you is being proven to be true. It's proven to be true. What are you doing?
People like to tell me things. And so,
that's so funny.
You talk shit about me, sometimes comes back to bite you. But a lot of times you won't know it's me that bit you, just anyway, neither here nor there. So I blew Blake up. I was like, yeah, dude, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And I put a picture of his mugshot on my thumbnail and I blocked his cell phone because I knew he was going to text me. And he was very upset about that. He started texting me and Danks because Danks had originally put us together, and so Danks hit me up and told me that he was on his way to my house. And so I had to send him that, right? He's like,
What would you tell someone who knows exactly what to do but can't?
Has a name.
To be clear, you are not welcome at my house. I'm aware of your criminal history, and if I see you at my house or near it, where my kids live, I'll assume you're here to threaten my life, and I'll act accordingly.
As you should. And the fact that dude even said he gonna pull up to your house without your permission is absolute ludicrous.
If you want to talk, you can talk here through text. That's usually not like the kinds of things that actually happen where you're like, hey man, I'll kill you if you come here. That's like a thing that happens in the movies, not like in real life. But when you deal with Blake Bednars, that's the kind of thing that happens. So I definitely want to show him crashing out, but I figure like first I'd at least show you, some of the stuff that Candace put on her show about him.
Positing theories about Brian Harpole after Brian's disastrous interview with Sean Ryan. Here are just a random selection of his tweets, Blake Bednarz tweets. He wrote, 1, this is who squeezed the trigger to initiate the detonation under Charlie's shirt. Brian Judas Harpole was wearing the controls under his clothes. I am 1,000,000,000% certain. Well, that might be defamation. Next one. There was never a gun. It was a weapon called a shape charge. Here is who actually detonated the charge under Charlie's t-shirt. His name is Brian Harpole from Dallas, Texas. Okay, third time. Blake Bednars writes, a gun was never fired and a bullet did not hit his neck. The pendant-shaped charge was detonated by Brian Harpole. This is why the necklace was such a central focus. Right after the incident, Erica and Frank had to establish its existence. That is not the necklace that Charlie Kirk was wearing. Here's another one. What did Brian Harpole have hidden on his person? Two things. One, the item in his front right pants pocket is what caused the audio interference, and the item under his shirt below his left armpit is what he squeezed discreetly at the moment that CK was hit. Holy smokes, this is it. Truly, you guys, I could go on and on and on. It was just an everyday beat. Brian Harpole murdered Charlie Kirk, and here's how he did it. From behind his back, holding something, pulling a trigger. Everyone saw this in the Twitterverse. I certainly was aware of this. Here's actually even a clip of Blake making those accusations.
You see this right here? I want you to pay attention to every time with Brian. This is what he does. Anytime he goes and messes with the weapon or the controller or the detonator, the trigger, he is pulling his shirt down because he does not want all the wires to be seen.
So I'm just demonstrating to you, like, if you're lawyers for Brian Harpole, this would be a slam dunk, I would say, right? I'd at the very least send this.
So yeah, it's like it's one of those things where she's like, "Why are you suing me? Why are you guys suing me?" Right?
But we know the answer to that question. Like, okay, this part I'm gonna try to work with y'all, because I know y'all are kind of split with this. Majority of y'all most likely disagree with me on this one. But I want y'all to understand. I think y'all can understand where I'm coming from. I don't find that strange. Number one, if you're comparing Candace's claims to Blake's claims, absolutely Blake should be sued. He should be the one that's being sued. As a matter of fact, he should only be the one that's being sued. He should be the one that they're only looking at between the two. Candace's claims have been very strategic. She's been very careful with her words, all the things. Here's the problem. If they sue Blake Bednars, he's just like another random person on Twitter. There are thousands of accounts on Twitter, on YouTube, that are saying the same things. What's the difference? They don't have the clout, the reach, the fame, the notoriety. They're not a top podcaster in the world. Yes, it's not fair, but it makes sense. They do this all the time. Celebrities get sued for the pettiest things in Hollywood all the time that the average Joe Schmo wouldn't get sued on. Why? Because they're not going to get anything from you. If you shut down Blake Bednars, don't nobody listen to him anyways in comparison to Candace. If you sue Didi, don't nobody listen to Didi anyways in compared to Candace Owens, right? The thing I will give you leverage on is, yes, it's suspicious that he's if I remember correctly, or if I understand correctly, he's the only one that was listed in the lawsuit. That's strange. That is strange. I 100% agree. But it's not strange that they didn't sue the dude. Them suing him would do what? Oh, man, he tweeted that Brian Harpole took out Charlie Kirk, and there was a whole 5,500 people that saw it. He posted a video. There's about 85,000 people that saw it. Meanwhile, here's another podcast who's getting 1.5 million views per video. She also happens to know the people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not that shocked. They're going to go after Candace because Candace is the big fish. Is it fair? Absolutely not. Here's another thing that you all got to understand. I'm still not fully convinced that Charlie Kirk is deceased. Let me make sure I remind you all about where Didi stands. I'm still not convinced that he's deceased. I have many reasons. As a matter of fact, I could argue just as many reasons to why they would have taken Charlie out. All the reasons that we've covered, Candace has covered, so many others have covered. It's just as many reasons why Charlie would fake it. Shout out to Jesse, by the way. More Patreon people were sending me his series, why he believes Charlie Kirk is alive. Falls right in line with what I said, like 3 weeks after Charlie was taken out. I hopped on Patreon and gave y'all what I thought. And I'm still about 50-50, probably 60-40 now. 60% leaning towards Charlie may be alive. I know a lot of you all don't like that. A lot of you all not buying it. A lot of you all kind of want to believe it, but have more reason to believe he was taken out. I get it. That's important to remind you because there could be something else going on with these lawsuits. Don't force me to say what it could be. There could be something else going on with these lawsuits. And it's not about trying to shut people up from investigating it. Maybe it's other things.
And again, she did that because Blake Bednars had made an enemy of her for some reason, right? Like, because he was upset that she had not, like, used footage that he demanded that she use or something. I don't know, whatever. So now we're going to watch his crash out, and we're going to add some commentary, you know, as a person who's dealt with him a little bit. And by the way, if you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, that's deep right there. It's like an arrow to my heart. You guys want me to bleed out on camera? I will. Just don't subscribe and don't like the video, and I'll bleed out internally while I cry. All right, let's watch this.
Basically begging her to finally show this video. I mean, she blatantly says it's a much longer video I have. I don't understand the thought process. I do not understand what would possess her to want to sit on this footage month after month after month after month after month. September, October, December, January. I think I said 5. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe she didn't find it as compelling as you did. Maybe.
See, okay, that's the part. That. Somebody got to, and I'm literally gonna make the chat live on the screen so people who not watching this live can see what y'all are saying in real time to me. I'm really asking this genuinely. Respectfully, I don't see it Jesse's way. I think what Blake just asked is a fair question. You all tell me, yes, I agree. Blake looks all those things. His eyes look crazy. I agree, man. Respectfully, Blake, if you're watching this, respectfully, you how do I say this? You kind of look kind of like your eyes are like, but that's not important here. What am I missing here? I want legitimate answers or responses. Why do I not see it the way y'all see it? I think that's a fair question. If he showed, yes, that it's fair that he did not show all the interactions with him and Candace over a course of weeks. Candace said things became a bit strange and a bit weird, and I don't doubt that probably happened. I don't think he's yet shown those interactions with Candace that will probably corroborate Candace's point. However, the initial interaction that we saw, I can only go by that because that's what I've seen so far, seemed great, and we saw Candace say the words that it was great footage that he had showed her. He sent her at least clips of the footage. Why do I not? I don't think it's a bad thing to be asking why Candace hadn't shared any of it up until that point. Somebody says, I got a question for Blake. Why don't you release it yourself? That's a fair question. My understanding was that he did at some point, but I'm still need the answer to the question I'm asking though, y'all. I see that as a fair question. Is that not a fair question? Somebody said, I do not see it the way they see it either. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even, I said a knock on Candace. I'm just saying that's a fair question to wonder, like the example I gave earlier with the Brian the Auditor thing. When Brian the Auditor thing came out, Candace commented on it and said that she appreciated it. That's what she told Blake. But then she went on to never share it. It's not a fair question to wonder why. Like, am I missing something here? And that's a legitimate question. Somebody said she didn't trust him. I'm still not understanding. She can share the video footage and say that she don't feel the same way that they feel or whatever. I'm not. I don't see that as a good response. I don't know. Nobody's able to give me answers, man. I thought y'all had answers for me. So I'm gonna get back to this.
Maybe.
See, that's what I'm saying. People just saying maybe. They're just speculating. But we saw Candace say that she liked the video, though. We saw her say that it was good work. We saw that in text message.
This is one of those videos, like, listen, what I think doesn't matter anymore. Just saying, like, now we're talking like human to human. Is that like a reasonable thing? People can like demand that people do whatever with their podcast. Like, do you have any idea how many people send me stuff that they want me to show on the channel?
That's fair. Where's the demand though? Like, I think the language here is interesting. Maybe he has it somewhere else. Let me be clear, because somebody's going to say something. I'm not saying that he's never actually demanded. What I am saying though is I haven't heard him demand her. I haven't heard him, and maybe he has. And if he has, just send it to me. Has he ever said she better show this footage or else? Has he said that?
It's unbelievable, like a very large number. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if I don't, okay, they have no legitimate beef with me. They're all, I told you that this proved that the earth is in fact flat. Why would you not put it on there? Just because you're a rounder, huh?
Well, okay, that's fair, but I think that's a bit of a straw man. The reason is because, or a bit disingenuous. This is talking about somebody that could have potentially lost their life. The biggest political assassination that we've seen in our lifetime. This is a public investigation that a lot of content creators are coming together to try to figure out. So this isn't just a normal thing somebody is as expecting to see featured on a podcast. This is something that a person believes or could potentially believe could help advance it. Or he could be trying to set up Candace. I'm not saying that one or the other is the exact necessarily the truth, but I'm saying you all are just assuming that it's one way. But I'm saying that aren't there different possibilities here? It's a fair thing to wonder why something that could progress or drastically help progress an investigation is not being shared. It's fair to sort of wonder why something that you worked on is not. I'm not under. Why don't I see it the way you all see it? What am I missing here? Am I missing something, man? Like somebody said, is Diddy a Fed? Come on, bro. What? Somebody said Diddy Blake said as soon as Candace released that video attacking him, there was a massive attack started on him, and in everyone's live at the same. Okay. Somebody said, why does she have to do it? What does this language have to do it mean? I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm trying to understand where y'all coming from with this. As y'all can see, I'm a genuine person, man. I'm trying to see it from y'all's way. I don't see it as a bad thing to ask this question. What am I missing, man? Somebody said you're missing that Blake is a Fed. Where's the proof of that? People call Candace Owens controlled opposition. If you ever want me to say that unequivocally, I need the proof. How would you like it if somebody said that Candace Owens is a Fed? What would you say? Where's the proof of that? So I'm asking, where's the proof that Blake is a Fed? If he is, I'll expose him quick. Show me the proof. Send it to me. I'll expose him fast. Somebody said, you don't say it because you choose not to see it. Why would I be asking if I don't want to see it? I feel like he also started off on the wrong foot, trying to share bits and pieces, wanted to get on FaceTime instead of just sharing supposed available video that no one else has. I'd be sketched. Okay, I understand where you're coming from with that. I already explained why some people will probably want to go on FaceTime. He said he went FaceTime so that he can immediately show it to her, which is what he did. Think about something. What exactly are you arguing if you're saying it's suspicious that he wanted to go on FaceTime with her? Okay, he wanted to go on FaceTime with her to do what? What's your answer? What's the best you got? He wanted to do what? He can't set her up by just going on FaceTime with her. So what is it that you're alleging he was trying to do on FaceTime? I haven't heard a legitimate response. I'm going to keep the comments on the screen and I'm going to get back to the video. That way we can read them back in real time later.
Are you one of those globe people, huh? Just saying.
Just to summarize, this is episode 311. So September the 19th, she gets the video month after month after month after month after.
How on earth did you have the video that fast?
That's a fair question. That's a very fair question. His face. No, I agree with that. Now, that's a fair question. How did you get it so fast, and how were you the first one? And how come no one's gotten it since you? So that's a fair question. 100%. I agree.
Something to think about.
After month after month after month after month, she sets on this video, and finally on March the 12th, she decides to show it to all of us normal folk that have been working just as hard as she has.
Oh, hell no.
To today. Imagine.
No, he did not, dude. No, he did not. So what, she owes it to you, dude? What, she owes it to you because you've been working so hard? I have an idea, dude. When did your career start? Like, when did you start building your profile doing content? I can't remember. I don't know. Right after the Charlie Kirk case? Okay, cool. So that was September. I don't know. When do you guys think that we'd be able to find the first content that Candace made? Not to mention the slight gap in talent, like just a little bit of a gap between Candace.
Now, I was with you on the first thing, but what do you mean gap in talent? What does that have to do with the topic at hand? Talent has nothing to do with that.
And Blake Bednarz in talent, watchability, likability, charisma, intelligence. You know, just one of those things where no one gets to go, I'm working just as hard as you. It's like, okay, cool. Well, guess what? Hey, if I tomorrow start working as hard as Steph Curry to play basketball, do I get to cry if I don't become the league MVP in the NBA? It's like, you know, there's, you know what I mean? Like, you're late to the game and you will never be as compelling or as big as her because you're not as good as she is at anything. That's
I agree with the analogy, but clowning the guy for not being as smart or as talented as I don't understand why that's relevant here. Why that's the I don't know, bro. Like, this is one thing that this is the first thing that we can all agree that we're just gonna disagree upon. Because I don't even understand why he took that angle. I don't know.
Hilarious. That's like that's a very communist look. I work just as hard. Actually, no, it's not. Communist actually just doesn't even care if you work hard or not. This is just an unrealistic one. It's like, that's not a good argument, dude.
I mean, number one, Candace is the only person that's ever talked to Teryl Farnsworth, to Erica Kirk, to Andrew Colvett. Candace is the only one that has all of these people's phone numbers and can text them, call them, and y'all meet with them. And we're just now talking about, Teryl has been talked about ad nauseum by all of us peasants, all of us just, you people, you little citizen journalist things. This changed everything. Her sitting on this month after month after month after month after month after month after month has done no one any favors except Turning Point USA. And
so I'm gonna need a legitimate response to that. How, if that's his opinion, I don't understand why people are upset about that opinion. He feels that the video, not releasing the video, because if he releases it, only so many people are going to see it. But if Candace releases it, more people will see it. He's saying that by her sitting on it and not sharing it and exposing things, then that's letting TPUSA off the hook. It's wrong for him to feel. I'm confused, man. That's a fair thing for him to feel. I'm trying to see where I'm missing it, bro. Like, somebody says a good video is seen by everyone. That's cap. That's straight cap. That's not true. There's a lot of good videos that get missed often. It's not until certain odds get up on it. As a content creator, I know that for a fact, right? You can have one channel drop something, another channel drop something, another channel get way more views for the same information. So that's not necessarily true. The right person has to post it. That's how it works sometimes. That's just the reality of it. I'm missing something, bro. I'm missing something.
If you don't like it, you can get over it because it's the facts. There's no reason to sit on this. I have at it.
Just on the outside chance that you really do know my address, I will just reiterate. If I ever see you in my neighborhood, I will just assume. Okay.
Fair.
This is an unhinged reaction. Okay. This is crazy town. There's no reason to be crying or freaking out or whatever's happening right here. This is an illogical emotional reaction.
I feel like people gonna say this video is all about taking up for Blake. Is not. Like I said, I've called out Blake, but he stated that he's been getting attacked by a lot of people. So in fairness to the guy though, like Candace is very, very, very popular, bro. If you say something that's against that woman, your comments are going to get flooded. That's why you got to be strategic. And that's also the reason why certain people will never be critical of Candace under any circumstances, because they know what the consequences could be. Now, I agree. He's a bit unhinged here. I agree with that. I would just come with more truth if I'm him, if I was in his position. Like I said, the Brian the Auditor situation, people saying, why are you so upset? And so what? It wasn't meant to be. I just moved on. I'm like, people are simple-minded. Some of these people are in a cult. That's just the truth. I'm not saying if you necessarily are against Blake here, you're in a cult. That's not what I'm saying. You have good reason to be calling certain things out about the guy 100%. I wouldn't behave this way. But if you put yourself in his position, if he's not controlled op and he's just a regular person like the rest of us, and you're getting attacked by thousands of people, I mean, you're not going to feel away if you just been conducting an investigation trying to figure out what happened too. I feel like we're not being totally fair here. We all can criticize Blake, but I don't think we're being fully fair. I think it's just attack him, defend Candace, because that's the popular thing to do here.
Okay. Jesse, why are you so dismissive? You want to know why? Because when I show people my hand and I'm nice to them, I expect very simple things. Just don't lie to me and don't fuck me over. And he did both. He fucked me over, then he lied to me about it. And then rubbed
That's totally fair.
it in my face the next day. Then threatened to come to my house because I put a mugshot on my thumbnail. Boo, boo, boo.
If you think it's okay for her to sit on a video like this here or photographs, we're still missing 3. If you think that's okay. All right, I got to remember, there's family, there's people that are watching this. I can't. You need to seek life elsewhere. Okay? This channel, I am not for you. I wished I could talk to a virtual Candace. Like I could have a little Candace.
Well, he retired from this case again, apparently yesterday after Danks had him on or something. He's done, and he deleted all of his content from his YouTube channel this time. So that's exactly what he did the night that he chose not to come on my show, deleted his entire X or something or other, and then told me blah, 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 then was back doing the case again the next night.
Very strange. Jesse, you and I agree that that's very strange, and we both have experienced the same thing. For those of you that are joining late saying, how about you just have him on and let him explain himself? I've tried. He reached out to me first, and I'm like, bro, just come onto the channel because I got some hard questions for him. I'm gonna grill him. If he come on this show, I'm grilling the heck out of him. If you've all ever seen me interview and converse with people, I don't play. I'm not holding anything back from the guy. And you all will quickly see in that interview with him, if it was to ever take place, that I'm not necessarily taking up for Blake. I'm just saying, if the guy is asking legitimate questions, I'm going to agree with them. That's a fair question to be asking. So let's assume that he's controlled opposition. Everything y'all saying, I agree with. He tried to set up Candace. Candace sniffed it out. 100% agree. But what I haven't heard any of you all entertain, what if he's not controlled opposition? I didn't say believe that he's not controlled opposition, but just how you're entertaining the possibility that he is and that he was sent by Brian Harpole or TPUSA to set up Candace. How about we entertain the possibility that he's not? Let's just entertain it. What could that mean then? If the dude is not controlled opposition, and he was really working, trying to figure out, and he really believes this is who took out Charlie. He links with Candace. Candace says that she likes what he showed her, and then she goes on to never share any of what he showed her. You wouldn't feel away a little bit? Like a little bit? Dee saying people in a cult because we don't believe this person. What happened to think on your own? Literally didn't say that. I literally clarified that. I literally did not say that. Try again, bro. I would never accuse anybody of that. I'm asking you all to help me understand, like, from y'all's perspective, because truly, maybe there is something I'm missing. I don't doubt that Blake probably has mental issues. I don't doubt that he may do drugs. I don't know any of these things about this person, but he gives the impression that there's a good chance that both of those things may be true. Objectively speaking, I'm an objective person, but I'm saying, like, if he's asking legitimate questions and the guy turns out to not be controlled op, that's all. I guess I can put it like this. I would agree a lot more with you all if I heard more nuance in your responses. The only thing I've heard was Blake isn't to be trusted, blah, 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 which are good things because he's proven it, but you're not substantiating any of the legitimate questions that he's asked either at the same time. That's completely lopsided to me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to listen a little bit to what Ian said, and then maybe we can just have a discussion here at the end. The Candace Owens allegations are not looking good is the name of Ian Carroll's video.
That Danks, one of the great up-and-coming new independent podcasts on YouTube, had Blake Bednars live commenting on...
Actually, we're going to go back to the beginning.
And it's always awkward when this one happens. It happens to the best of us sometimes. You got to be careful to avoid this one, because you look like a fucking retard when you just don't think something through that's so obvious, and then you present it as though that's not even a possibility. You just blatantly expose your lack of, like, reasoning capability. It's just right there for everybody to see.
Conspiracy theories are entering a
Information is the oxygen of the democracy.
There's so much evidence out there that even if less than 1% is true, that would be enough to collapse the current paradigm and change the whole planet.
I saw that Danks, one of the great up-and-coming new independent podcasts on YouTube, had Blake Bednars live commenting on Candace Owens's allegations, so to speak, her suspicions. She kind of put Blake Bednars on blast on her show last night. And if you aren't, chronically on Twitter, if you have a life, you might not remember who Blake Bednars is. You might not be super familiar with his vibes, his personality, his antics, his history, his footage, his claims. Candace did a bit of summarizing of his primary evidentiary claims that is very overtly claiming that Brian Harpel murdered Charlie Kirk, that he pulled the trigger. Blake Bednars has, in no uncertain terms, directly stated that factually over and over and over and over online. And
Right.
Candace and Barron both pointed out correctly and comically that it's a little weird that Blake Bednars is used as evidence in the lawsuit against Candace, but is not receiving a lawsuit himself. Although Candace never claimed that Brian Harpel killed Charlie Kirk, and Blake Bednars very much did many times. So we're going to get into Blake Bednars' response a bit, and some of the evidence he's produced, and some of the claims he's making, and why it's all a little weird. I very much want to encourage people to follow Danks, because Danks is, you're going to see from his demeanor in these clips, Danks is a very level-headed dude. He's just here for the truth, and he's a regular guy. And it's been really cool to see this cadre of, like, not young, but new creators and podcasters and investigators just start making content. I'm a huge proponent of more regular people making content, more voices that are just regular Americans, regular people around the world that are just putting out research, putting out ideas, putting out information, because we got more than enough Daily Wire in the world. We don't need any more Daily Wire. What we need is more regular people putting their voices out there and making the voices of the regular people louder. And we need people that have the demeanor like Danks, that are calm, cool, collected, journalistic, not dramatic, not hyper fixated or freaking out or aggressive and starting fights with everybody. The juxtaposition of the demeanors and vibes between Danks and Blake is striking, and I think very important to note. It's going to be a central theme here. Blake does share text messages and stuff with Candace that seem to imply that she might be misremembering the exact correspondence from back in like September or whatever when he was trying to send her this video. Not exactly clear. We'll let that hash out in the future. But the first thing that really struck me was this part, which I didn't realize this was already on YouTube, but this is a huge red flag.
I pulled this out, so.
Okay, I'm going to pull up this. I'm going to pull up this.
So you'll remember that Candace mentioned on her show last night that Blake Bednarz was really into FaceTiming. He really wanted to FaceTime Candace. And let's just say that the longer you spend in this industry, the more you sort of get vibes from how people try to operate. And once you get a little experience in the game, you learn that there are certain things that can be used to try to entrap you, or just to try to put you in a position where you might do something that they might be able to get on you, or for any other reason, maybe just for clout. And in this case, this is why the incessant request to FaceTime is a little weird.
Okay. So again, everything Ian just said is true. I'm not nearly not as popular as obviously Candace or even Ian Carroll. But here is once again the same question I'm going to keep asking. And if Ian and I end up speaking behind the scenes, I'll ask Ian this directly. What's the implications here? So he went on FaceTime with Candace for 45 minutes. Did he ever try to trick her into saying something? I don't ever recall that happening. Unless there's something that I'm missing. Once again, that's why y'all are here to tell me if I'm missing something. Somebody said, watch Dank's video. I've already watched it. After the interview with Blake. He figured out the video can be, okay. I'll get to that. All I'm saying is, what are the implications here though, Ian? If you see this clip, somebody's going to clip this. What is it exactly that y'all are implying that he tried to do when he FaceTimed Candace? Because unless he did something weird while he was on FaceTime with Candace, then y'all don't have an argument here. He FaceTimed her to do what exactly? Right? Let me hear what he tried to do once they were on FaceTime. And if he did something weird, all right, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I agree with you. But if he didn't do any of that, then your argument falls flat.
Right. Here. Okay, go for it.
Okay.
So here's the actual FaceTime.
So notice that he's just ringing her right now. Before he's even ringing her, he's all set up. He's got his camera ready and he's recording himself FaceTiming Candace.
And again, bro, y'all gonna have to just not like me for this video. I'm gonna be honest always, and I'm always gonna say what I truly feel. And I'm not gonna just cater to an audience because the pressure is on. I'm gonna say what I really feel and what I really believe. I like Ian Carroll. Let me start there. There's no beef with Ian. I like him. I especially love the investigations that he conducts. I don't know him in real life. I don't know where he came from either. But stating that he already had his camera set up, bro, like you're just trying to make it sound worse than what it was. If you're going to record somebody, if you're going to record a FaceTime with somebody, of course you're going to have it set up before. Mentioning that or pointing that out doesn't make it any better or any worse. Secondly, in my opinion, this is just Didi's opinion. I've already stated why I believe it makes sense why some people will record a FaceTime with a person as popular as Candace. One of those possibilities is what he's alleging here, which is he's trying to set up Candace for something. But that would only be substantiated or corroborated if he did something during that FaceTime call that proves he was trying to set her up. But if he didn't do anything while he was on FaceTime with Candace, then I think it's only fair to assume that it speaks to some other reason he did it, which I believe is because it's freaking Candace Owens. I think he was fanned out. I seen some of y'all in the chat saying being fanned out is weird. Fine. But if any of you all grew up as sports fans and you find yourself on FaceTime with Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Allen Iverson or Larry Bird, you're not going to want proof of that? Like video calls, there's no proof. Like, that's all I'm saying. Candace Owens in the political sphere, people see her as that, like a great person, like somebody who's brought a lot to the political game. And I would agree with that, whether you like, love, or hate the woman. So I don't like the framing that Ian set up here, because that means that you only believe that one thing is true. You're only entertaining one possibility as to why he did it. And I don't agree. Something else to consider, I have to say this out loud, especially for those of you that disagree, which I'm totally fine with you disagreeing, but I'd love to hear what you're going to say about this part. If Blake is trying to set up Candace, and if Blake is secretly working with TPUSA, which once again is a possibility, why would he post this? This is a video that he posted on YouTube. If he's trying to set up Candace, when you keep all of this a secret until later? No, I'm not buying that, bro. I'm not buying it. Somebody said I'm too naive. You telling me I'm naive? Okay. Okay.
I'm just going to be really direct about this. Fame is uncomfortable. I'm literally a pizza guy, sort of. It's all weird. But when you get a little famous, you start to get people that want to use you for clout.
Yep.
Or, shit like this.
Bingo. That part Ian and I are totally in agreement with. I think this is about clout. He's speaking to freaking Candace Owens. If he posts that, it might go viral. Look at me. I just started my YouTube channel. I'm on live with Candace Owens. Wow. I can totally see it from that way as well. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's multiple possibilities here.
And it's super uncomfortable. Even if it's just totally innocent. And it's just like some young kid that's just like, oh my gosh. It's one thing to be like, hey, can I get a picture, bro? It's a whole different thing to have that person that is like trying to use you to be cool. Like, hey, I know Ian Carroll. Like, oh, dude, I've got Candace Owens' phone number. Like, yeah, you want me to text her right now to show you how cool I am?
Bingo. Are y'all mad at Ian Carroll now? Are y'all upset with him now? That's literally a possibility. You're speaking to one of the most infamous or famous people in the political sphere in the country. A person that's banned from the entire Australia. A person that's being sued by a freaking president from another country. A person that's being tweeted by the president. A person that's tied to Kanye West. A person that Dave Chappelle is mentioning in his stand-ups. Are y'all mad at Ian now? Because he just made a fair point, which is some people use this as clout. I'm on FaceTime. I got such and such's phone number. I'm cool. Look at me. Follow me. That's perfectly normal. Pretending that it's not just to take up for Candace is lunacy to me. That being true don't mean something bad for Candace. It just means he could be, starstruck, if you will, wanting to use her to get some clout.
That's a huge red flag.
It's not a red flag, though. How is that a red flag? That's how normal people. So basically what we're saying is that if you're famous and then you have fans, all your fans are weird. Because I can guarantee you majority of the people that have got an opportunity to speak to Candace, they would either do what he did or they would have considered it. 100%. It's not always a bad reason why they're trying to do it. It means that, dude, I'm on FaceTime with Candace. No, bro. I disagree that that's necessarily a bad thing. No, it's not. It can be simply he's a fan.
Flag. Do not associate with those people. even if it's totally innocent and it's not nefarious, that's just not good. That's not a good friend. That's someone that's out for themselves. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Now, if we're just strictly telling people not to do it, especially in the midst of an investigation, and that you could, if you don't want me to feel uncomfortable, don't record me, that's a different conversation. I will agree with that. But to simply say that him simply doing that is a red flag for, sinister motives, no, that's not necessarily true. Could it be true? Yes, but it's not necessarily true.
And at the other end of the spectrum, that is potentially malicious and super sketchy. The people that are trying to record you and document it's weird.
I agree that that's a possibility for sure.
So Blake is already being kind of weird. And later in the podcast or in the show, we might not actually watch the exact clip of it, but later in the show, Danks actually asked him directly, did she know that you were filming this FaceTime? And Blake directly says, without hesitation, no. Candace did not know that Blake was filming their FaceTime.
Yeah, but that's okay. So Ian, are we going to be consistent here? So that means if it's suspicious, let's see how many of you all are consistent. As I asked earlier in the live, I'm going to ask this question again. Is Candace Owens a red flag because she screen recorded her interaction with Teryl Farnsworth? Let me put the comments on the screen. Let me see how many of y'all are consistent with this. Is it suspicious that Candace Owens screen recorded her interactions with Teryl Farnsworth without Teryl Farnsworth's permission or knowledge? Is that weird? I would say no. I'm consistent. She should have done that for the reasons that she did. See, look at everybody. They're saying no, she's not a red flag for doing it, but he's a red flag for screen record. Oh my gosh, y'all got to stop that. I don't agree. It's all right. Like we'll just disagree on this one.
So that's weird.
Hey, Candace, I'm good. It's good to see you finally and meet you. I'm a big fan.
Could he be lying? Sure. But I'm saying like he literally starts off with that. He's doing fan-like behavior. He's going to talk to Candace. Man, I want to prove this. I spoke to this person. I can totally see that.
Thank
you. The more time you spend in this industry, the more you can just feel a vibe from someone in terms of how they treat your celebrity status. And it's awkward for everybody. It's like there's a million versions of awkward and weird that are totally chill and normal when you're interacting with a fan or someone that knows who you are. This is not an example of that.
What?
Right off the bat. And then you can't help.
What? I totally disagree. I totally disagree with that. Totally disagree.
But notice too that he posted this video on YouTube, apparently publicly.
Right. Why would you do that if you're trying to set up Candace? You wouldn't do that if you're trying to set her up.
With the title, why hasn't Candace Owens discussed this VIP video yet? 200 days later, and it doesn't make sense. So that's also super weird.
Okay, so y'all, this is what I'm saying. If the argument is that he's trying to set up Candace, but he's publicly posting this, if the best you got is that it's weird, it's not though. How? He's showing that he's the originator of the video. I'm not following, bro. Like I don't know, y'all. Again, the conversation is not about is Blake a good person? Should he be trusted in general? No, it's not. We're still talking about this specific situation, and I just refuse to see it the way that y'all are stating it. I don't see it.
To come out publicly as having done this. He shows the FaceTime where he's doing exactly what TPUSA did to Candace, actually, where he's like showing her his screen of the video through the FaceTime to be like, look, I have this video. It's like bargaining chipping. If you're actually trying to just share information, you just share the video. He does show a WeTransfer at some point in here. He shows a bunch for text messages, which is like, whatever. I mean, he's trying.
Here we go again. Are we going to be consistent? Ian Carroll, Candace Owens has shared multiple text messages from Charlie and other people, as she should have, because I'm consistent. Are you going to call Candace Owens weird for sharing those text messages? This is what I'm saying. I think he's doing this for clout. I think he's wanting to get clout off of Candace Owens. I don't think he's trying to set her up. Why would he post it to YouTube? You're not, if you're secretly working behind the scenes to set up Candace, you're not going to be posting this to your YouTube channel for clout. He's doing it because he's fanned out. That's very obvious to me. I want to know if you all are going to be consistent, though. Is Candace Owens weird for posting text messages from Charlie and other people? No, because she has good reason to do it. So why are we not extending the same consistency to this guy? Are you going to say because he's proven? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Trying to defend himself. So it's like, I'm not going to try to knock him too hard for sharing text messages.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you, Ian. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever you want. But then he does show at some point in here, we transfer documentation via email. It's in here somewhere. There. Where I have sent and received WeTransfers. This does prove that he sent a WeTransfer file to her and she did receive it. We don't know what the file was so far, unless they've gone into that more later in the live stream. It doesn't seem like we know exactly what file was shared. I suspect that what happened is there was confusion about what the actual offering was, what the video was. Blake was putting out all of these edited clips with annotations being like, this is what happened right here. Look right here. Look right here. And he had all these clips. The only original video that Blake Bednarz ever had, as far as I'm aware, and ever offered the public was this like 11 or 12 minute video recorded by the UVU review, I think it was, by one of the static camera operators there. The only video that Blake Bednarz ever like brought to the public that wasn't just an edited clip of another video was this video recorded by the camera people for that UVU review, I believe. And he paid them money to get the footage, was the original story. That's what had Jason Goodman lose his fucking gourd on Blake Bednarz about like custody of evidence and contaminating the evidence. And it was a whole thing. Jason is a whole thing. That's the only video that Blake Bednarz ever like brought that was new. And it wasn't his video exactly. He just did the legwork to kind of get the original high quality footage and get it online. And he gave it out to everybody at some point. And he then proceeded to produce a whole bunch of clips from that video and from other videos. But that's the only one that was ever out. It's possible, theoretically, if he's being honest with this WeTransfer thing, this WeTransfer file download should be that full length, like 12-minute, high quality, full resolution video. That's what it should be. And that might be what it is. I could very much believe a world where Candace was under the impression that he had more and that then he didn't have more. And so it's possible there's a miscommunication on that piece of it. It's also possible this is not that video, but I think it probably is if I want to give Blake the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. It's kind of a minor claim. That's kind of...
Yeah, and I like, Ian does seem here to be trying to give the benefit of the doubt, which I do appreciate that. I would just like to say, yes, I'm well aware that apparently this can be edited and it can be altered as far as like what you sent or showing what you sent or something like that. It can be edited, so that makes it a bit more difficult and does give more credence to those of you that believe that Blake may be being a little bit misleading here. Blake, I am aware also that Blake has since admitted that he either didn't fully send it correctly or he sent a clip or something to that extent. I don't know how many of these clips that he sent. Nonetheless, this is another question I have for people, and I'm curious what people are going to say about this. So your argument is that Blake was trying to set up Candace, but you're also arguing that Blake was trying to set up Candace by trying to force her to show a video that would lead to then Brian Harpo suing her. She never shared the video, and she still got sued. Are you sticking with that argument? But let's go a step further. You're arguing that Blake was trying to set up Candace by trying to force her to show a video that I don't believe would have been enough to sue her, because simply showing a video doesn't mean that Candace agrees with it. She could have just gave her reaction to it. But let's entertain it. You're arguing that he was trying to set up Candace by forcing her to show a video, but you're also arguing he never sent her the video. He never sent her a video that he needs her to show so that she can be sued. Which is it? You got to pick one. You all got to pick one. That's all I'm saying.
Not the point here. The point here is I got to find where, okay, here we show Baron. The point here, oh, whoa, that's a hell of a freeze. The point is this part.
Danger to defamation, right? To defamate. So they're using her as an accusation for your actions, which I think is kind of ridiculous, by the way, if that's how it is being interpreted. Like, I believe that your interpretation is that. And I also see now what you're saying. That makes sense. I
remember now what I was going to say was if Blake is who y'all are alleging he is, which I don't know if he is or not, I'm just looking at the facts and reacting to them. Why would he send her anything? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would y'all say he didn't send her the actual footage? Well, why would he send her anything then? What would be the purpose of doing that? Also, why would he be going on these lives if his goal is to just set up Candace to be sued? Why is he going on lives with other people to try to make his claim? People don't do that unless they really trying to clear their name or they're trying to get clout off of it. Y'all got to pick one. You're saying that he's trying to set up Candace. I'm saying it looks to me that he's just trying to get clout off Candace. Which is it? Somebody says, Didi, the plan could have been to lie that Candace got a video from Blake and sue her anyway. The BS lawyer is crazy. Seems he will try to sue Candace with or without cause. I agree. And let me state for the record that the lawsuit against Candace, if it's a real lawsuit, if you follow me, is complete BS. It's a complete laughable lawsuit. She'll beat that lawsuit easily if she really gets sued.
Saying someone said audio issues, but I'm not sure if there's someone. Everything's good, right? This influence you? I mean, I don't know. Did Candace influence you in any way? How about that? Let's clear that. Yes or no? I mean, has she influenced you to make this kind of content?
No, I think she's in it with them.
You think she's in it with them?
Yeah.
You think?
I think she's running controlled up. Yeah, I do. Who's the only person who's the only person in this investigation that can pick up the phone and text Erica, text Brian, text Dan, text any of them? Who's the only person in this that has access like that to any of these people? Who's the only person that's had access to Teryl Farnsworth to get the actual 4K video from behind Charlotte? Who's the only person?
What's wrong with this question? What's wrong with this picture aside from those eyes? Oh boy, aside from those eyes and the demeanor. Vibes are very important in life, in journalism, in truth.
I agree. His eyes look crazy. I agree. I don't know if I agree necessarily with the demeanor. I think his eyes is kind of, they're out there for sure. But what about what he's saying though, bro? That's what's important. He can look how he wants. Crazy people on the street are ignored, but a lot of times they're telling the truth. Let's focus on what he's saying.
In YouTube. What's wrong with this question? Why does Candace have access to that?
Because she used to work for them, but that doesn't change what he's saying though.
Because she used to work there. Because
that's actually helping validate his claims though, Ian. It doesn't hurt what he's saying. His point is she used to work for them, so she's tied to these people. So he believes that she's controlled op.
They're all her friends. Because
that helps his point, bro. It doesn't hurt it.
Because she knows them all personally, because Charlie was her best friend. And because she has the biggest podcast in the world. And so that gives you reach. That gives you the ability to make a phone call and get taken seriously. Anyone can try to find contact info for these people and try to contact them. The question is, will they respond? And if you are big enough to be taken seriously or approach in the right way, you can get a response too.
Here's the problem though. And I've said this before. Let's just give Ian Carroll the benefit of the doubt on what he just said. Okay, fair. Here's the problem. If Teryl Farnsworth, the person that Candace contacted and screen recorded without his knowledge, but you all aren't calling that weird, but you're calling what Blake did is weird. It's just, I'm seeing double standards here. I want us to be consistent. And again, for the record, I think Candace did the right thing. She should have done that. Here's the thing though, and I would love for anybody to answer this for me. If Teryl Farnsworth had something to hide, which I have good reason to believe that he did, I think his actions were very strange. Why did he even answer the phone call for Candace to begin with? If he's up to something, he knows Candace has no idea about it. Somebody said Teryl Farnsworth knew he was being recorded. Okay. If he did, then I stand corrected. I wasn't aware of that. Let me try to confirm that then, because I will issue that correction quickly. But here's the bigger question: why would he decide to answer the phone for Candace if he knows he's doing something suspicious? Why even speak to Candace to begin with? I don't care if you end up sending her the video or not. Ignore Candace. She doesn't work for TPUSA anymore. You know that y'all did something wrong if y'all did something wrong. So just ignore Candace. You don't have to answer to Candace. Why did he answer the phone? I want to hear what people got to say to that. Why did he answer to begin with? I want to do something. I'm going to show y'all just how honest of a person I am. In real time, I want to bring one of you all on the show right now, but it only has to be a person, which shouldn't be very hard, who disagrees with me. I want to do that. You're not going to see too many people doing something like this. I'm going to do this. Give me a 1 in the chat. Please be somebody who actually, matter of fact, I'll bring 2 of you all on. 2 people. 2 people. Don't send a super chat because I'm not reading the super chats as of yet. Shout out to Tommy, bro. I'll read your super chat in just a moment. But I want to bring somebody on. Somebody says I agree with you, so I can't. I want somebody because I only care about the truth. I want to bring somebody on the show. Give me a 1 in the chat. Okay, Real Bays. Okay. Let me see. How do we do this? Drop your email. The first 2 emails I see, I'm going to email you right now. I'm going to email you right now the link to the show. Please do not come on if you're trolling. You will be banned from the channel. The first 2 emails I see, I'm going to send you the link. One of the emails has to be somebody who disagrees, and one of them got to be somebody that agrees with me. I need somebody that disagrees and somebody that agrees. The first email, can we get your phone number to FaceTime you, Didi? Or is that weird? Man, get up out of here, man. Y'all playing games. Bring on Bays. Okay, Bay, what's your I call this person Bay. Add Real Bays. What's your email address, Bays? I'll bring on Bays, and then I'll get one other person. Somebody says not Bays because he's a podcaster. I don't care about that. Come on, y'all. What's your email address? Drop your email address. All of a sudden, y'all just disappear on me? Why would anybody type their email address in the chat? Stop it. That's not how the internet works, buddy. People are not going to just randomly email you because they see your email. They're only going to do that if they got motive to do it. Most people, that is. Stop it. Nobody's going to put their email in the oh boy. Y'all been commenting for the last hour and a half, but nobody is going to put their email in the chat. Come on, man. Really? Just common sense in it. Just common sense in it. Shout out to you for becoming a new Patreon member. I see multiple emails. Oh, for real? I can't see any emails. I wonder if YouTube is blocking it. All right. Let me do this then. Here's my email. Bays, if you can email me the first 2 emails I see, I'll do it. Ah, shoot, I shouldn't have done that. I don't need 3,000 emails, bro. Like just a few people, please email me. I need Bays to email me, and I need one other person that agrees with me to email me. So I'm going to put this back up there. Please do not email me if you are not Bays or if you are not a person that agrees with me. We're going to have 3 people on. I'm checking my email now. Checking my email now. Okay. All right, I'll send it to you, bro. All right, I sent it to 2 people. I'm just waiting on Bays. I need Bays on the show. That's what everybody is requesting. I'm sending a lot of emails, man, but where's Bays at? So, Bays, you gonna comment, bro, but not respond? Come on, man. You're who everybody was requesting. You're who everybody was requesting, bro. All right, I've sent it to 2 people. No, if you got background noise, I can't bring you on. All right, here we go. All right, Bays finally emailed. My goodness, bro. All right, man. All right, y'all. Please stop emailing me. I've gotten everybody. One person said they're at work, so they got a background noise. We can't do that. All right, let's I'm gonna give it like another 5 minutes. I'm at another like 30 to 60 seconds, and I want to add everybody at the same time. So Danks and Bays should be joining here just shortly. Okay, there's Bays, and I'm waiting for one last person, but okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add this first person while Bays gets his device connected. Bays, you got to connect your device, man. Your microphone and your camera isn't connected. All right. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm well. What's your name?
My name is Sir Major Dumas.
Sir Major Dumas. Nice to meet you, man. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi.
Pleasure to meet you, Didi.
All right. So you disagree or you agree with me?
I agree. Well, I think being objective is important, and I think that that's what you're doing. And you have to at least hear out both sides of the story in order to filter through the BS, you know?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Didi.
Okay. How's it going, Dakes? And I'm assuming you're Bay. Are you Bays?
Yes, I am.
Nice to meet you. A lot of people was requesting you, man. So I'm glad to have you all on. So who disagrees?
Okay, you're talking about with it being shady that Blake was recording Candace?
Yes, just with my overall take, I would love to hear whoever do not see it quite my way, because I understand like majority of my chat is like, Didi, you don't quite see it. I'm just saying, like, I think he's asking legitimate questions. People are constantly talking about how crazy his eyes look. They're talking about his bad track record. I don't deny any of those things. But what I'm saying is, I don't care if he does all the meth in the world. I hope he doesn't. I'm saying the questions that he's asking are legitimate questions. Am I forgetting something? Am I missing something?
Where'd he go?
I don't know where he went. Thanks. If you want to hop in here, nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you, man. How you doing?
I'm well. I love great interview with him. You're one of the rarities that got to actually speak to him. Jesse and I got stood up. You know, he reached out to me, and now I can't even get the guy to respond to me. It's very weird behavior. So again, it's not about defending the person, but it's about making some sense. So I want to hear somebody that disagrees with me so we can have a dialogue.
Well, I have a different take, a different perspective on this. It's not a matter of the questions itself. It's your argument. It's the fact that, like, me and Danks worked with him personally, and I had conversations where he told me the story about recording Candace, and he told me that he was talking to her in his backyard, and that his security camera accidentally caught the footage. So that makes it different for me. It's not about him asking questions
100%.
and this and that. He stood on this. Like that was his story.
Not that I don't believe you, because I actually do believe you. You give out genuine energy, but I do want to ask, do you have proof that he said that?
I'll get him on. I'll ask him flat out. He knows what he said.
All right, for sure. Like, and
I have other receipts on interactions with him that I can prove.
Why would he lie about that?
But that's the thing. The thing is with Blake, like, and like I said, me and Danks worked with him a couple times. And, I was a new streamer. I only had like 2,000 or 3,000 followers. And after the second episode, I told Danks, I'm like, yo, we can't work with this guy. I'm like, he's a mental patient. I'm like, I don't care if he has 1 million followers.
Well, this is the thing is that, but so we were chopping it up. Like, I seen Blake around. I didn't know him that well, but he hopped in a stream with Kelly Raybon and
yeah. And I saw his post on Twitter where he told her to stop lying for Candace or something.
Well, we didn't know their connection, right? I had no idea that they were just on internet husband and wife. So, and nothing against Kelly, like she's a sweetheart. I think that he's taking advantage of her emotionally. The thing is, he is coming to Baze saying, yo, I think Danks is a Fed. And he's going to Baze saying, I think Kelly's a Fed. And Baze is like, yo, I think you're working with Kelly. Like, what? You're working with Kelly? What are you talking about? And then he's going to Kelly. I think Baze and Danks are Feds. Coming to me, I think Baze and Kelly are Feds. Like, the guy is you see what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not. He showed all of those things, right? The only thing I can't prove, obviously, on my show is the actual video, right? And then the fact that we transfer and all of this, I don't even care enough to go and look and see, is it 3 gigabytes? I don't know what it is. It's Jordan Henshaw said it's 3 gigabytes on a free account is the max. So what Blake is saying is that it was compressed down, but still the full footage of whatever the length is, 12 minutes, I guess, 11 minutes. However, the fact remains is that Blake obtained the footage illegally, okay? He obtained the footage from UVU Review illegally. I have the receipts. If you haven't seen it, I can send you the link. UVU reached out to him and said, you're putting out information about this that's copyright material. It's only for UVU Review campus only. And he basically lied and said that he bought it from students that work there for thousands of dollars. And they were just students asking him, why do you want this footage? And they just gave it to him. I'm pretty sure. Did he provide proof that he actually spoke to a student and got the footage from a student? There's a recording. I can send you here. I'll put it in this chat.
Because here's the thing.
It's got audio footage, but it doesn't have, all he said is he has recordings of the conversations, but he doesn't provide, there's an email from UVU. And I have it right here. I'll send you the post. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. Didi, I got something that you're gonna like too.
Okay.
So hold on. Before I stop, real quick. The reason why I think there might be some discrepancy about this footage is because he doesn't want to get into some litigation with UVU over the footage after they've already told him to stop presenting the footage. So I don't know. I haven't even talked to him about it. I found out after we did the live stream. So it could be something with that. So just to bring some clarity there.
So before Baze speaks, and I'm gonna get you in here, Sir Major Dumas, I just want to make sure I understand you. That was almost taken up for Blake in a sense. Did I understand it correctly?
Not necessarily. It's just like, well, I guess if you want to take it that way. All I'm saying is that there's a chance that it looks to me that UVU said that he obtained the footage illegally, and he's saying that, and he's lying about how he got the footage, or allegedly lying. I can't prove he didn't pay or he did pay. But essentially, if he has been warned or told not to put out the footage by the office that puts out this footage that he got it from someone, either a student or maybe he did pay a little bit of money. Maybe there's students, So then perhaps he doesn't want to take it any further than the clips that he's already put together. So I guess you could say that I am maybe taking it for him, but not necessarily. I'm just shedding some light on how what's been going down here. So this, I'm going to put in the private chat right here.
Okay.
That right there's got the post that shows with information. There's 4 pieces to it. So there's Blake saying, I have a reputable source. You can put it on screen if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on screen.
Yeah, and then it goes through. It shows like what he said about how he got the footage, and then it shows them reaching out via email and then via DM.
So Blake says here, I'll have a reputable source confirm it. You don't get to BS by calling the video fake and then ask for the original so you can verify it. You should have started with that request, mother effer, and I would have been more than happy to share it. I didn't bust my ASS for over a week trying to find the person behind the tripod, then pay thousands of dollars for it to have this man going off accounts come around and call it fake.
That's how he is.
So get to calling the UVU review. Wait until I have it verified to your standards. That's the camera and operator in the pic. So he's showing a picture of the person, and this is okay. So this is a screenshot of an email from UVU to who we presume is Blake.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So because if you go back, go back one message. It says then pay thousands of dollars for it, right? And then you go to the next and you can read the email.
Oh. All right. Thank you for reaching out to clarify. The UVU review has a strict policy regarding our journalism assets. We do not sell or license our news footage, photos, or any other editorial content to private individuals, political groups, or outside organizations. Our coverage is produced by a student newsroom and is published publicly and transparently on our own channels. No one from our organization has sold any video, original or otherwise, from the September 10th Charlie Kirk event. If individuals are publicly claiming they purchased such footage for thousands of dollars directly from the UVU review, that information is inaccurate. We cannot speak to the claims or actions of outside parties, but we can confirm that no such transaction has occurred with our newsroom. If you have specific concerns about misinformation about being spread using our name, you are welcome to forward the statements in question and we will review them internally. Oh, wow. Interesting.
Now go to the next one.
So this is Lizzie's. So is this, I'm assuming that's Elizabeth?
I think that this might have been, that email might have been to someone inquiring about that. I'm not 100% sure.
I see. And now this is Elizabeth, the person that was responsible from the campus for sending an email.
That was the person who emailed. Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Hi, Blake. My name is Elizabeth Powell, and I am the executive director of the UVU Review, Utah Valley University Students News Organization. I'm reaching out because unedited raw video recorded by our team has been shared on your account. This footage was not authorized for public release and is being distributed without permission. I need to request that you remove the video from all platforms where it has been posted. The unedited version is copyrighted review material and was shared only with select news outlets for editorial purposes. Please confirm removal as soon as possible. So I think that alone, to Dank's point, sort of explains, for those of you that are asking, why won't he just post it himself? I think
the video came from students there. There were 2 students that I was in contact with. They had absolutely no clue of my angle back when I was asking for the video, because they very, very bluntly said, why do you want it? Like, he was shot. Like, why do you, like, what's the big deal here? And of course I have all of this recorded. And I said, look, there's just some weird things that are happening. Can you just show me what y'all have? And they obliged. They showed that Teams thing was how they all communicated and shared their review, that UVU review footage. That's how it was all. They were on.
Pause it real quick.
That
someone in the comments said, now we know why he wanted Candace Owens to post it. Copyright. Maybe trying to catch her slipping. Maybe.
No, but see, oh my God.
I'm just wondering if it's
how does it make sense? Somebody got to explain. This is why I wanted to bring people on so I can.
Didi, this is like the thing with Blake. Nothing ever makes sense with him. It's either it's a mental thing, and he's like just like a legitimate dude that's just got mental issues, and it's just everything just gets so messy and confusing that we end up with all these clusterfucks. Or, you know, maybe he does have an agenda and he is just like some type of misinformation agent. Because it was very strange. Like, I got introduced to him by Kelly, And like the first time I talked to him, he's telling me, I don't know if I could trust Kelly. I think Kelly's a Fed. How do you know you could trust Danks? Then he's going to Danks. Oh, how can you trust Bays? Then he's asking Kelly for her DMs. And I called him out on this on a 3-way call. I'm like, dude, like, what the hell is going on? Like, you got something to say? Like, let's go. And then he, on a 3-way call with me, Blake, and Kelly Raybon, he's like, listen, it's not you, Bays, it's Kelly. I know she's a Fed. You guys tell your handlers I want $100,000 in unmarked bills, and you will never hear from me again.
No freaking way.
I want assurances.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Pull up my text.
What?
This is from a 4-way group chat where I called him out. We kicked him off our show. We were going to do a show together. And I'm like, bro, I don't play this Fed shit. Like, I keep a tight circle. Like we ain't having this. You can pull it up right now. Thanks will tell you.
Okay, that's wild.
Yeah, that's why I
wild.
understand where you're coming from. Like, yo, like what, you know what I mean? Like trying to look at it objectively, but you have to realize that you're not dealing with a person that's on your wavelength. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I 100% accept everything you just said. Let me ask these direct questions to you all, and I'm curious from you, Sir Majors, what do you think? Is it a fair question for him to be asking the video that I sort of went over with Candace? Yes, only via FaceTime at the time, and I sent her something. We don't know exactly what he sent her. Is it fair for him to wonder why it is that she hasn't shared it as of yet? Is that a fair question to be asking, or no, for a different reason?
Yeah, I've asked the same thing. I've been
well. Hold on,
didn't
he ask Sir Majors?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I believe that, Candace's show is her show. She can air what she chooses to air, not to air. I think Blake is a very passionate and emotional guy, and he really believes what he thinks he believes in. He wants a platform to get that out because he feels that the issue, the subject matter at hand requires a certain amount of attention paid to it. But then he does himself a horrible disservice by being all wild-eyed and crazy and being Blake. He's his own worst enemy. As far as to answer your question in a long roundabout sort of way, I don't think there's any reason that he has no grounds to stand on as far as being upset that Candace didn't share his video. Now this new evidence has been brought to light. I think that there is probably an issue where he wants to get it out there, but he doesn't want to be responsible or liable for the repercussions, or possible repercussions that could come out of that. So that's my way in.
Do you think it's weird that he recorded the FaceTime with her?
I do not think that it's weird that he recorded the FaceTime. Texas is a one party state, so only one party has to be aware of the recording. Like you said,
what about it's whatever state you're recording at? So whatever
Tennessee?
Candace's state, I don't know what the law is. I can look it up.
Tennessee is where Candace lives,
so that might be one of the issues. As far as ethically, I think that Candace did the exact same thing with Teryl's video that Blake did with her video. I mean, she recorded their FaceTime and Blake recorded the FaceTime. Objectively, they either are both in the wrong, or they're both without error. So it's got to be cut and dry. You can't have it one way for one group, no matter how famous or popular they are, and then have it a different way for somebody else, no matter how flinging their own poo crazy they are.
Totally agree. But in fairness, just in case this turns out to be true, and we find this out later, someone in the comment section said that apparently Teryl Farnsworth was aware that she was screen recording the phone call since he couldn't send the file. So I'm going to give just the benefit of the doubt just in case that turns out to be true. But if he was not aware, she screen recorded just like he did, or he recorded off to the side without the person's knowledge, which in both cases, I want to reiterate this. I agree with both. I think both is totally fine. I would understand why a person would do that.
Well, and then there's the other side of the legal ramifications of one party or both party or no party. I mean, like that could be an element to this as well, as far as the legalities of it go.
That's true. But you all said that, thanks, you read a comment where someone said, because of the copyright angle, maybe that was why. But what does that mean? He posted it, my understanding, he took it down. Candace would have just took the video down. It would have been fine.
I'm just saying, if they think, like, say if you're taking the side of he's trying to get her caught up, wrapped up, right? That's the only thing. Like, I don't like, this is the thing, is like, it's really hard to understand Blake. The thing is, I like Blake, you know. I mean, when it comes to like interpersonally, if you take all of this stuff out of it, he's got a good heart. Like, I can tell, like, we have conversations in the past, and he seems like a generally decent dude. Like, he cares, you know, and he's respected me, and I've, for the most part, I've respected him. I mean, I've trolled him a little bit, but I've done it to us, like, we do it to each other, you know. It's whatever. So it's an interesting dynamic, you know.
Yeah, and I watched your interview with him. I was like, Danks is asking all the right questions. You're grilling him the right way. I think you were very respectful. And what I got from your interaction with him was, Danks seems to be picking up what I'm picking up, which is the guy seems to be honest. I know people disagree, but to me, I'm like, why would he be going? It seems to me that he's trying to get to what happened to Charlie. To me,
but also we have to think, like, he's got a fairly large X presence. Everybody knows who he is. He's got a decent size, small but still decent reach on YouTube. He doesn't need to have anybody else play his footage. If it is indeed what he says, then it would speak for itself. And I agree with Sir Major that, you know, he can. And also, we don't know if Candace is sitting on it or would have sat on it until later. You know what I'm saying? So I agree also, though, that I don't see any issue on her putting it out there and just letting us run with it from there too. So I see all sides. But again, at the end of the day, it is her platform. I know, and you know, from us running platforms, that the more people try to get me to play shit, the less likely I'm going to do it. It really bothers me. So that could have something to do with it too. You know what I mean?
This is what I would say. And Baze, I love to hear from you. This is my thing. As a content creator, Danks, to your point, we all know that it depends on who's sharing what. So you say, well, he has a fairly decent size and he doesn't need another person. I disagree. It depends on what it is you're trying to do. Somebody in the comment section earlier said, well, if a good video is going to be seen by people regardless. Not necessarily true. I've said for a while, just to make this personal, some of the most powerful videos on my channel have the least amount of views to this day. And I'm talking about since I've grown on YouTube. It just depends on the platform that you're sharing it on and if it's allowed to be shared. The truth of the matter is, I love Candace's show. I watch it quite a bit. I've religiously defended Candace's positions quite often on this show. But here's the truth. I don't know what the reason is or the explanation for this is, but Candace is allowed to say words that if we said in certain videos, at least early in the videos, the video would be demonetized or it would be limited ads on the video. Candace says all types of words and no limitations. 2 million views on the video. So it does. When you talk about the #1 podcaster in the world on any given day, it's a different amount of reach. If he shares it on his channel, good video or not, groundbreaking video or not, it may at the most do 100,000, 200,000, which I don't think he's ever seen that many views on a video before that I'm aware of. If Candace shares it, it's through the roof. It's a different amount of reach. The FBI may have to be forced to actually pay attention to this because everybody's talking about it.
But you realize that goes both ways, right?
Huh?
You know, you said it yourself. She has the largest podcast in the world. Every video gets 2 million views. Right. Now, it didn't take me too long dealing with Blake to realize that he's impulsive, that he's very abrasive. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what he's going to say. And he's also very manipulative and pushy. Like and she even said it on her show that he's like not only trying to push her to show the tape, but he was trying to push her to show the tape in the context of his theory. Now, if you got the #1 podcast in the world and you're getting 2 million views and you're wrapped up with this case with Charlie and Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk was your best friend and he just got assassinated, and all of a sudden here comes this guy who's impulsive, abrasive, he's got this like golden egg of footage and he's trying to push it on you to put out there, she puts that footage out and she's tied to him. She's connected to him. Now he does something crazy or something else comes out and that's on her. And that's why it goes both ways.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, she has a lot to lose. It's very easy to look at someone who's at the top and just assume like, oh, like maybe they're in on it in some way, like they got a machine behind them. But like you look at politics, you know, and I'm one that thinks that it's all like behind the scenes, the people really running the world. It's like a uniparty. Like our politics is like WWE, but they don't. A lot of them don't know that.
Think about this. Candace, she got her lawsuit April 30th. Now all of this stuff is happening. And even up before then, we don't know if there's been correspondence behind the scenes saying like there's a lawsuit coming, et cetera, et cetera. So why, if there's potentially a lawsuit already coming or there's currently a lawsuit now, would she play the exact footage that they're saying she caused him to create?
All right. No. Right. Yeah.
They're using him as an example of radicalism on behalf of Candace's platform. Oh, you're making people do this kind of content. Oh, and then she's going to platform that. So you have to see that side too.
And you got to remember too, this guy has been running around on X, on Spaces, on posts, on YouTube, going around accusing Brian Harpole of murder, flat out.
Right.
Flat out.
And they're getting
what
me.
this
Now they're
would be if she posted that and platformed him in that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, other people have been flat out, oh, the gun, the palm gun, the electrocution. But the thing is, like, they start going into your comments. Like now I got people in my comments, like, you know that Brian Harpole definitely did this. Just say it. Like, admit it. Stop being this and that about Candace. And it's like, whoa, like, why do you want me to say
and
this?
Blake,
so
and
bad?
Blake's the kind of guy that
and I make it very
Candace
clear.
knows. She played it. She knows. You know, like that's what he would be doing right now.
So it does seem like there's some sort of agenda here, even though there might not be. It very much seems like it. Because why do you care so badly if I say I'm nobody? I have 30,000 followers on both X and YouTube. So what do you want from me? Why do you care if someone says that you just want to be proven right? I mean, if that's the case, then there's an emotional issue here. There's a psychiatric issue. If it's not, you're trying to get somebody wrapped up. You know,
yeah,
so.
I see where you're coming from. The last thing I'll say, and I'll get all three of you all's final thoughts, is I shared earlier, I don't know, at one point you all joined the live, which, by the way, I appreciate you all for watching. I shared an example of several months ago, this guy by the name of Brian did a Doge style effort audit, whatever, on TPUSA. And Candace saw the video. She commented on the video, whatever. She liked the video. She said she liked Brian's work. But in the video, if you all have even watched a little bit of my content outside of the Charlie incident, or even regarding the Charlie incident, I'm critical of Charlie as well. Like, whether he's alive or he actually lost his life, I'm not a revisionist when it comes to history as to what Charlie was and how people felt about Charlie before everything happened. I vividly remember people weren't necessarily, a lot of conservatives weren't happy with him. Now, with that said, yes, he was coming around. Yes, he was redeeming himself. Yes, he had Tucker. Yes, he had Dave Smith. I appreciated all those things. Yes, he was saying certain things and entertaining certain conversations. But Candace saw the video. She commented on the video. She appreciated it. She made some corrections because we were a little bit critical of Candace's. I think it was a 501c3. I think Blexit is a 501c3. We were a little bit critical of her affiliations, Officer Tatum, Charlie, etc., the people he's been in bed with in business, etc., etc. She said that she was going to share it on her show the following day. She didn't. Yes, I was surprised. I was kind of confused. Really, is probably the best emotion to describe it. I was like, oh, I thought she was going to share it. I was a bit confused by it because I'm like, this would definitely advance it because Candace was the one to give us the information about the memo. Now you have a person that's already conducted his own audit. This is dope. It's time to take it through the roof. The #1 podcaster has seen it. It makes Brian the Auditor a bit nervous because he don't want that much attention on him. But I'm like, it's probably going to have to be a loss he's going to have to take in order to advance this case. Candace never shares it. Just like Blake, again, I don't compare myself to Blake as a person, but similar situations, I was confused. She's not obligated to share anything. To Sir Major Duma's point, she's not obligated to share anything. I was still confused, though, and I would imagine Brian the Auditor probably was a bit surprised as well. You all said that, well, you don't know if she was going to share later. Candace never shared any of that work, which I think was exposing a lot of potential fraud. I'm going to just, to be safe here, say a potential fraud that was taking place at TPUSA, not just over the past year or two. Brian the Auditor had been working on this for like the past 5-6 years, well before everything. He was like, oh, this just worked out in my favor. Let me just give you what I've already been working on. Why didn't Candace share that? Now, when I say that out loud, people say, you're jealous, you're upset, you wanted the attention. No, I don't, bro. The things I talk about on my channel, is probably best that I don't get too much attention. It can get weird for me, dangerous for me in real life, right? So I'm still not too popular to where people can say I'm controlled op. Absolutely not. I'm not at that level. So is it fair for me to ask the same question that Blake was asking? So that's why, like, I relate to Blake from that perspective, because I'm saying I totally understand where he's coming from. Like, why haven't you shared the footage? When you said it out loud, people say, who are you to demand that she? No, that's not where I'm coming from. We're all trying to figure out the same thing. This person said, they commented on it, just like she commented on his video. We heard that on the recording of the video call. She said that she liked what she saw. Then she went on to not share it. Same thing happened with Brian the Auditor's video. And I was like, oh. But then when Zach from Wolves and Finance, you all may not know this, a lot of people, Zach and I have already spoken about this, they were calling him potentially controlled op himself. Limited hangout, I think is the term they use. They use somebody else to do the same work Brian the Auditor did, so that they can direct people in that direction. Because the moment his dropped, she immediately reacted to it on her show.
Well,
I was like,
I did, sorry to interrupt. Well, it's interesting you say that. I didn't even know about that. But there's two things about Wolves and Finance. I don't trust him. The reason why I don't trust him is because he made a video literally saying everything that is happening in Gaza.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that really bothers me.
Which makes you believe he's a Zionist.
Well, maybe a Zionist or something else, right? So, but besides that, I'm like, bro, that's actually, if you go look, I started making more content, specifically TPUSA started after he made his second video on TPUSA. I'm like, there's so much other stuff here, because I started looking, and that's when I started making content, and I found endless amounts of what I would assume. I'm not a professional auditor, of course, for the IRS, but just from a glance, you can see that there's what I would imagine is self-dealing 3 different types of ways from one person with multiple people. There's money being gifted to companies that close down and then open up as an Israeli foreign agent. You've got all kinds of shady stuff that looks shady to me. So, you know, Candace, I never sent it to her. I'm not the type of person to send my content to other creators. It's just not my style. But then she's also shared work about the foreign agent stuff, but never connected. So, I mean, I don't know. She's doing her thing. Maybe it fits into the show. But I will say, you know, one last thing. Well, go ahead. Yeah. So when Blake has made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. As a friend, we told him not to go mess around with Black Line Brief, okay? Because I got bad vibes. Well, it comes Black Line Brief, the guy that he keeps going over to do shows with to get him to put all of this content out. The Black Line Brief, okay? Well, since March, I sent you a link, the second link in the private chat. It shows that while he's working with Black Line Brief, the guy, Black Line Brief, is DMing other creators trying to expose Blake. And then Blake goes onto his show after my show. And yeah, there you go. You can see if you just click the first image and you'll see it. This is in March. Look at the date, March 31st. Hi there. My name is Matthew McKim. I have a YouTube channel called The Black Line Brief. I've been covering the case and investigation from the standpoint that the official narrative does not make sense, nor prove that Tyler Robinson did this. I have had Blake Bednarz on my show twice, which that's a lie. It's been more than that. And was working together with him until some things happened. And he's been working with him after this. And then he says, I would like to speak with you and your associates. And basically he's saying, I have firsthand information about the UVU video, how Blake got it, what he's been doing, and have receipts, text messages between myself and him. Please reach me. Keep this confidential. And he's just trying to air him out, and then smiles to his face, backstabs him. And we told him multiple times because we know about this dude already. And so Blake,
yeah, I actually just covered this today. It's a short video. I just sent it to you in the private chat if you want to check it out, where I break down the whole story about
and
this
then
guy.
that's him trying to get a hold of Project Constitution, trying to get dirt on me. So it's like, bro, the guy is just really, if there's anybody that's an operator in here, I think it could be him. But I am very careful about who I call feds or assets, because that's a really dark place to be mentally. And you don't want to get there, because then everyone, you can look at all four of us up here and start to say like, well, they did this or he does. It's not a healthy place to be. So I try to veer away from that. But you're talking about, I mentioned a lot of stuff here. So if you want to unpack, that's fine. But
yeah, we're careful about who we call feds, and we're more careful about who we call friends.
Sir,
and that's
Major,
why. Oh, so yeah, no.
Yeah. Did you have anything? I know he hadn't said anything in a while. I think you're muted. You're pulling a me.
Sorry about that. Look, I mean, look down at your shirt. It says PSYOP. Everything nowadays. How do you trust your own lying eyes and ears? Like with AI and people that are intel or trying to get a certain message out. It's hard to decide. I have a little almost sympathy for Blake, because I feel a little bit at my. I mean, what are we doing here? How, is it an exploding mic? Was it a gunshot? Was it? I don't know. It's not a gunshot. I can pretty much guarantee that. But the electrocution theory, and then you've got all these different people. Again, like Danks just said, who do I trust? How do y'all know that you can trust me? How you can only build a certain amount of trust and rapport by listening to someone, and then you filter through all the other BS. Like the evidence that both of y'all have brought, Bays and Danks, that's really compelling stuff to show that Blake is cuckoo birds, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He doesn't have a grasp on reality, but he really wants to get to the bottom line as to, like Barron says, who, why, and how, who killed Charlie, why, and how, so there's some real, it's a weird time. There's all the other stuff that's going on in the world, and it's hard to focus and filter through all the BS and not be skeptical of everyone. So I got that's my only way, and I'd say.
So I'm assuming that all three of you are under the impression that Charlie Kirk was unalive that day.
I don't. No. Coin toss. See, a lot of the research I do is based on probabilities, and it's funny too. I actually DM'd you because I was watching you covering this stuff one day, and I'm like, yo,
what platform?
You would go nuts right here on IG.
Okay, I'm about to check it. Was it recently?
It was probably a couple weeks ago. Because I came across one of the videos that I was just watching. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this guy thinks like me a lot. Because I'm very objective. I try to look at everything from every angle without bias. I'm not afraid to question anybody, be critical. But a lot of the research I do, I try to use AI and probability models. That's where the name Bayes comes from. It's from Bayes' theorem. And it's funny because when I run my models on the Charlie Kirk case, it basically has it at like a 55-45, whether he's dead or alive. And it leans towards that he's dead.
Yeah.
But once you start breaking it down, the causes of death, there is not a single cause of death that outweighs the probability that he is alive. And that's the best way that I could put it.
I think that's the best way to put it as well.
The odds are that he's dead, but there's not enough evidence for any cause of death that outweigh the possibility that he's alive. And that makes it, like I sat here, I started doing this from day one, by the way, from day one. So it's like, it really is a brain screw, because I was using the same probability model for the files. And I was actually pretty accurate about a lot of that too.
Thanks, Sir Majors.
Go ahead, sir.
I don't know where to weigh in on things. There's so many possibilities. I wouldn't put it past them to run a psyop on us. We've been lied to about so many things, practically everything that you ever learned. I've become if I wasn't a conspiracy theorist before, I am now. I mean, there's enough evidence going back through all the things that have happened where they've just lied to us, and then it comes out, and someone calls them out and say, you lied to us, and they go, next issue, move on, and it's time to drum up another psyop, and so it's an Overton window kind of deal where one trumps the next. Speaking of Trump, was the shooting real? Like, I don't know. I can't weigh in on it. It's all this fog of war, goofy AI and messaging, and we've all been programmed and on our phones and television and whatnot. It's hard to see what's real and what's not real, and that's where I come down on it. And I guess over hopefully on this one, that over enough time will tell. And we're all way more skeptical and way more awake than with JFK. They were just like, well, this is what happened. Everybody was like, oh damn, that sucks, and then they moved on. But that's not how it went. I know one thing. What they told us happened is exactly what did not happen. There was not a single shooter who was a cuckoo bird guy who shot Charlie in the neck with a 30-06. That did not happen. And that I know for sure. The rest of it, only time will tell. And I yield.
Yeah, I think all of us can agree with that for sure. Thanks.
If the only thing that's proving to us that Charlie's dead is video footage, then tell me anything else that says he's dead. Is there anything else that proves that he's dead? No, there's nothing. There's not a burial plot. There's not even a real autopsy. There's been lie after lie after lie. Now, Charlie's never going to come back, whether he's dead or alive. Mm-hmm. So he's dead to me, right? In a way that meaning he's just not going to come back, right?
He's
so
off the board.
He's off the board. But you can't tell me that hundreds of people are involved. The government is involved in some thing with all of the people that work there. They all knew about it. Nobody sheds a tear. I always say this. You could pay every single person that was involved that's a normal that works there, unless they're all operators, which could be. I'm not saying that's not, but it's very unlikely that even if they're not operators and you pay them all $1 billion each, you're still going to end up getting found out, because money doesn't stop the emotional overwhelm for somebody who's just a normal human being trying to do their job over a friend who was assassinated right in front of your eyes. To me, it is not what meets the eye. You can't always believe what you see. And it is my opinion that what we're being told is not true at all. At all. Nothing adds up. You can't leave a screw on the roof and then jump off and then have a gun in your pants, and all of this shit doesn't make sense.
So many anomalies.
It's so ridiculous. It's almost as if they want us to recognize that it's ridiculous,
Not to mention, you look at all the hand signal. Oh, sorry, you want to keep going?
No, go. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. This is the thing, from looking at the finances and all of that, I will say this. He needed to be taken off of the board. And it's not just the finances, it's also everything that we're in right now. Charlie would not be okay with all of the data center stuff. He'd be a big proponent of speaking out against that. He's not a big fan of the Iran war. He's not a big fan of Israel anymore. So all of that, not to mention, he was on Salem Media. Their #1 broadcast was Charlie Kirk's show, and they're a Zionist, bought out foreign agent operation. So there's a lot of that. And then the finances, they were already under investigation for Arctic Frost before Trump got into office. He was going to it was most likely he's going to be jailed if Trump wasn't elected. And in order to, they say, oh, you could write a pardon for him and everybody. Okay, well, maybe that could be the case, but you're still facing criminal charges in the state. Okay, so you have to, once you remove Charlie from the board, however that may be, then everybody else is in the clear, because he was the CEO and he's the one that sends at the final receipt signature on all of the documentation. So you get rid of all of the liability from losing your nonprofit tax exempt status. If you take him off the board, you get rid of the pushback from the Iran war, the AI takeover, the data centers. And I'm doing deep research on what's actually happening with these data centers. I don't want to say too much, but they've created a way to make it so that the state, local, city, and the federal government actually have really no say. They're creating private entities around what's happening. So you stay tuned for that. But he would be speaking out against every single thing that's happening right now. And he'd be one of the biggest voices. And you want to talk about a revolution? You want to talk about a civil war? Okay. That's probably where it could have started, is with him.
you got to remember, Charlie's whole job, as far as the administration goes, was he was supposed to be the one. I don't want to say like, he was the influence for the youth. He was going from college to college to college. Now, a lot of people don't know this. I've spoken to people that worked for Blexit, that were affiliated with Turning Point USA. The last year, after everything that was going on, especially, Gaza and the files, Charlie was losing those debates. He was getting smoked.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine if he was here today when the files come out and Trump's covering it up, and then the war with Iran. They couldn't put him out there. They could never put him out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? How would that go? And then when you factor that in with the scene and all, just look at all the hand signals. You got Dan Flood, you got Rick Cutler. Not only are they doing all these weirdo signals that don't really mean anything in coordination, but they have people in the front and at every angle getting like the perfect shot, and it's all going out. And people don't think about this, but when Larry Ellison, when they were talking about having TikTok get sold, and they're saying, oh, well, China's influence, China. They ended up having Larry Ellison buy it. But they had a former IDF or possibly intelligence person that was running the TikTok filtering content for hate speech, right?
Right.
For hate speech. That started in July, okay? Charlie was off the board in September. There was a whole lot of hate speech from the left. Everybody dancing, everybody celebrating. You see all the they flooded the zone, all the hand signals, all the conspiracy. Like that in and of itself was a psyop. Whether he's dead or alive, what happened on social media on September 10th in the following 2 weeks was 1,000% a psyop.
Totally. I'm going to ask you all in advance for forgiveness because, Danks, I've seen a couple of your videos here and there. Baze, I don't know if I've seen your content before. I'm thoroughly impressed, so please do not take offense to this. I wasn't expecting this answer. I thought I was going to get maybe one person to say that they even entertained the possibility of him being alive. I didn't expect this sort of extensive breakdowns by each of you because I'm going to put all of you all on the spot, if you want to call it that. The biggest question I have for you all is, do you not find it odd that none of the largest people covering this, and please do not say any names. I don't want any problems with anybody. I love everybody. It's not about that. But it's just that nobody's questioning this. Everybody's only asking who took out Charlie. Hold up now. Who says that he's gone anywhere? We have just like shout out to Baze for saying he started from day one. Man, that's
I got receipts.
Hats off.
Too.
Hats off to you. I've been covering psyops on this channel almost from its inception 6 years ago. And even I didn't start from day one. I shed a tear on camera when I saw the footage, messed my head up. And then I had to remember sort of who I am and how I look at the world. And I said, let's actually entertain if this actually happened or not. And maybe it did. But this is what I will say. I did not start from day one. It took me about 2.5, 3 weeks. I hopped on Patreon. Patreon members know this. We've discussed this several times. I hopped right on Patreon. The video is still up. Sometime early October, late September. And I was like, I believe Charlie Kirk is alive and this is why. And for multiple reasons, I didn't share that on YouTube. And I started listing reasons. And the biggest thing I said, not the biggest sort of proof, if you will, but one of the biggest things that stood out to me was if you actually entertain that possibility, wouldn't everybody's behavior make sense then? Not just how fast Mikey McCoy turned around and walked away. Look at his body language. He was like this and just walking off. That's somebody who has marching orders.
He was drifting off in the sunset, I said.
He's drifting off in the sunset, never look back once. You look at the demeanor. Shout out to Jesse on Fire, who I didn't know had an entire series, a 3-4 part series. I didn't find that out until yesterday when some of my Patreon members were sending it to me. I checked out, I think, the first 2 parts. Incredible work by Jesse. But I would also say he overlooked one thing when he was reviewing the footage behind Charlie's table, where Charlie allegedly fell. He fell over and there was this sort of.
He was guided down by Dan Flood.
The AI, yeah, right. Dan Flood kind of helps him go down, but the chair kind of goes through the table, glitches. There's debate on if that's the original footage or if somebody just AI'd it. Whatever, it doesn't matter, because the most important thing that is not AI was the person who wasn't even over there was the person closest to the camera, who is that person? It's the young lady, a really young blonde, who walks by in this red, I believe it's a MAGA hat, I'm not sure. She walks by the camera. She has no facial expression. As a matter of fact, she almost has a smirk.
I saw
Hold
that.
up.
Yeah, I know exactly.
How does Charlie go down? Let's say everybody grieves differently. That's what they keep telling us. At the very least, you're going to be shocked, surprised. No, she looked just like Mikey McCoy's body language looked, like she had marching orders. She knew where to go. You're not doing that if this man just got pow-powed. You're not.
None of them were worried about an active shooter.
None of them.
I've analyzed
including
all
the
the
security
footage, 15
detail.
different ways, and not only that, but there was different stories on like, you know, they tried to say that he was killed instantly. I've analyzed the footage. Charlie not only raises his arm. Now you could say that he was pulled up like this, but if he was really gone, his wrist would be down. His wrist extends like this, and his fingers go out. And then I've also seen footage from when they have him in the SUV, and he pops up. Now, you could argue that Rick Cutler was on the other side moving him, but Charlie moved in that SUV.
Their stories are not lining up. They also argue that Frank Turek was performing some sort of something on Charlie. But if you look at the layout of the SUV, it's 3 rows. So you have the front seat, passenger seat. You have a row. You have a row in the trunk. Frank Turek was allegedly in the back of the SUV. How was he performing anything on Charlie, who was put at the very front row directly behind the front seats? How?
And Charlie's like what, 6'5"?
He's like 6'5". It wouldn't have worked.
I do want to say one thing. You mentioned Jesse on fire, okay, and what's up with Candace? So Elizabeth Lane, she's a friend of mine. I've been working with her lately.
She just got a Candace interview, right?
Yeah. So she was with Candace, and I wanted to. So basically, without getting too personal about how and why and all that, she asked Candace about Jesse's theory to see if she knew about it, and she does, and she just thinks it's just not a credible thing because she says she knows Charlie, he wouldn't do this type of thing, and that she was very close with him, and she can't even entertain that because of the fact of their relationship. That's coming from Elizabeth. You know, I don't know if she wanted me to say that or not. I don't, but I think that's why, you know, she doesn't want to even entertain it or put that out there because it's just so hard. And that's one problem possibly with being so close with the person, that it's really hard to come from a perspective of the outsider when you know somebody so well. You never think they would do it. Well, also he lied to you about getting money. You never thought he would do that, right? So there's a lot of things that possibly could be missed or not believed and not investigated as a result of the fact that you just don't want to. You can't get there. You know what I mean?
One thing I'll say about Candace Owens is, you know, like obviously I don't know her. You know, she's not my friend. She's not my neighbor. But that aside, when you look at the level she's on, you know, in this realm, in this world, and the kind of threats that she's had, and the fact that she knew Charlie and was that close with Charlie, like none of us can ever relate to her. Like at the end of the day, we are all human beings, and none of us know, you know, who's this, who's that, what, but like she is just one person. She's just one of those people. Like it's almost like, you know, like we live in an era now where there's not really stars. Like I grew up in the 90s where there was like stars. You had Michael Jackson, you had Michael Jordan. We don't have a lot of those anymore, you know, but Candace Owens is a star. Like she is a superstar. And when you're on that level, like you can't relate. You just can't relate. So it's like you can't judge, like what you were telling your story before about, oh, she didn't play that.
She can't relate to
it's
what
apples
exactly?
it's apples and oranges. No, I'm saying like we can't relate to her. Like we don't know what it's like to be in her shoes and to be operating on the level that she's on and the risks that she has and everything she has to gain, to lose. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. It's tough.
I follow you. I agree with you in any other scenario. This is a situation, however, that Candace is already, first and foremost, and this is the biggest compliment I could give to Candace, or at least one of them. Candace is known for saying the things that other people won't say. So I don't know if we can also say, well, we'll never understand. Well, she's saying the things that people wouldn't expect the person on that level to say. When she started speaking about Freemasonry and things, she had me. I'm like, okay, she's entertaining all the things. People are willing to negate or argue like Blake Neff and Andrew Covett are willing to talk and respond to like the inty-binty most irrelevant things that she says that they're really ready to debunk. But what about the much larger implications that she's made? These organizations that she's meeting, she's talking about the number 33 and they're making fun of it. Like, these things are real. These things are literally real. So my thing is, I follow what you're saying, and I would say that yes, we'll never understand what it's like to be a Candace Owens in that level of notoriety, reach, clout. I got it. But this is who she is as an identity of entertaining theories other people won't talk about. To Dank's point, because she was so close to Charlie, sure, maybe there are certain things that she just can't even allow herself to entertain or see or feel. However, a lot of people were saying that early on with the whole Erica thing. I will give Candace credit that she was very strategic. She says, and I know she's never admitted this publicly, I don't know if this is true, this is just Dee Dee's opinion. I believe she was suspicious of Erica from the beginning.
1,000%.
I do, because
I was too.
Yeah, she said that, and I think it was just a strategy. And I've never spoken to Candace a day in my life outside of a few comments her and I have exchanged interactions. This is what I know, though. She had a clip where she was reacting to Erica's memorial speech.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Everybody can see that this speech. I don't care if you're rooting for Charlie. You're at the memorial and you're emotional and you're caught up in the moment. When that lady got up there and started speaking, I'm like, what in the world is going? Everybody who was rooting for her, it's like, okay, why does this feel off? That's for those that were rooting for her. Candace went on her show, and this isn't a knock to Candace. It's like, I understand now what she was doing because I was mad. At the time, I'm like, Candace, what are you doing? She's the op. I was like, no.
I covered that a couple weeks ago. I covered that a couple weeks ago and said that protected her from a defamation suit, because then it makes it so much harder to prove malice, because that first month or two that she was totally supporting her. But
Bingo. And she gave one of the most consequential speeches I've ever. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
And Trigger Smart is in the chat. He said something that
what up, Trig?
Rings true. He said spouses are always the first suspect. And how many times in history do we see public figures or anybody, and it's not always, but it is absolutely frequent. Spouse is always the first suspect, and then a lot of times they end up being somehow involved. And you're talking about, and I'm not saying Erica is, but when you look at GGLF life insurance, 10 to 50 million, whatever it might be, when you look at, like, if you're going to say that he's dead and gone, there's a lot to gain, especially with the fact that it looks like she could be possibly tied in with all of these Zionist operations, taking it to the next level, right? Which I don't think they're going to go. They're only going, it looks like they're just going to be completely dismantled from here. But at least you have this avenue of the attempt of just flipping completely to exactly what all these donors wanted. I had a conversation with Tyler Boy. I reached out to him for comment, and he told me we don't accept any money from the Jews. And I'm like, really? So it's like, all right.
First and foremost, they wouldn't even know that because they're a 501c3 nonprofit, which means that they can take donations that are anonymous. So he wouldn't even know that. That's not even an understatement, because they could be just unknowingly, which I don't even believe that's true. I think it's knowingly, allegedly. Yeah. And I don't want to use the term the Jays as because people like to generalize that. I think from Zionist organizations.
Yeah. I mean, and you're right. Actually, if you look at the way they take in money, what happens is, because Stacey Sheridan, she has 3 companies, and she's working as the one that takes in donations on the board.
Crazy.
For TPUSA. And have you seen any of the videos that I made on that by chance? I can send you a couple.
I know Brian the Auditor pointed that out in his analysis, but no,
okay, so then you've seen. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it looks like around $5 to $9 million in just fees. So if you add all of that stuff up, like, there's a lot of things here at risk if Charlie starts to get squirrely. You know what I mean? It's just when you look at Erica, you don't see, like, even 8 months later, who's dressing up and going to a White House Correspondents' Dinner just to engage with journalists? Who's going in leather pants?
Her husband did not support that. He never went. Just like her husband said that he didn't believe in college. And what did Erica just do? She accepted an honorary master's degree, doctorate degree. And what are you doing there? That's against what your husband campaigned on. That's against what he stood for.
Yeah,
not to mention that he wanted her home raising the children instead of being a CEO, and on and on and on. It goes to the nth degree, y'all. I mean, take just the evidence that we've accumulated here with the hand signals, and then Brian Harpole on Sean Ryan, and then Blake Neff, and Mikey's little lip was quick. All of it is just it stinks. It's all malarkey. It is just fodder for us all to dig through and try and find some truth, but it gets really, really frustrating in that I do want an answer, but at the same time, it's all just chowder, it's just crap. So sorry, y'all go ahead.
Oh, Didi, you got to see, you guys got to see the clip that I did on Brian Harpole and Sean Ryan talking about the hand signals. You'll love that.
Yeah. Is that the link that you shared here?
No. Oh,
Okay.
No. The link that I shared was when
Was
we were
from
talking,
earlier.
we were talking about the other thing with it's
Don't worry
I'm not even
about
gonna
it.
drop his name. Yeah, I'm not even gonna drop him.
The dude that Blake was getting snaked by. So at the end of the day, if you look at this whole scenario, right? Nothing. There's not one thing that adds up. Even all the way from Charlie going to South Korea and coming back, all random, like literally everything. Okay.
Do you have a theory with that? I know Candace has shared hers. Do you have a theory about that?
I haven't. I don't have a theory. All I know is that it doesn't make sense, and there's something else there. I don't like that Cash Patel shut down Joe Kent to investigate foreign ties. I don't like that they are just willing to push through and force this narrative, even though we've done more investigation than the FBI or the state. It's
that's a fact.
Why not reach out? Why not at least say, hey, you guys have why not do your own investigation? Why just completely shut it down, make Tyler Robinson the guy? You've got talking heads, Megyn Kelly out there saying, I wish he would be killed. This is not
Megyn Kelly said what?
Oh yeah, Didi, you've been missing out if you're not watching our show.
Megyn Kelly said she thinks that what?
Megyn Kelly literally said Tyler Robinson, I know that he did it. It's without a doubt. I know that he's the one that killed him, and I want to be there in the room when they flip that switch and he dies.
This is what I mean. Does anybody find it odd that it's only normal people that can clearly see that something's off, but then it's always the people with the large major platforms like Megyn Kelly? She can't seem to have the ability to do she can't be nuanced. Hold on, wait. You think that man should be taken out, but all the evidence to the contrary that he did this, you're ignoring? Why do you think that majority of the people that like Charlie, that supported Charlie, do not buy this story?
And Didi, by the way, even though it's America and it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, we're the ones they're saying are tainting the jury pool. Not all the people that are working on Salem Media that as Danks pointed out, the registered foreign agents, that they're all assuming guilt from day one.
It's not a coincidence to me. That stuff is not lost to me. I wasn't aware that she said that, but I'm not shocked. That makes me believe that if Charlie did pull this off in some way, I think she's aware of it. And I think it would explain her statements when she makes she shares a story that I don't even know why it was relevant. I mean, I guess I can kind of see how it was relevant. The story about how Charlie and Erica, went to see a priest or something because some organization that's called something Jezebel.
The website. It was the Etsy.
The website.
Whatever,
Why was that? So they were so concerned about a random website. Charlie did this for a living. You think this is the first time he considered a threat? But she felt obligated to share that story right around the time we were covering the film Snake Eyes. And you're like, oh, well, this is when you get into conspiracy theories. Miss me with that. That's not going to work here. I'm going to follow. You have a person that's named Charles Kirkland who gets pow in the left side of his neck on September the 10th when he was attending a fight with an executioner by the name of Tyler. And in this same film, there is a hurricane called Hurricane Jezebel that they intentionally repeatedly kept saying at the beginning and at the end of the film, this just so happens to be the name of this website that Megyn Kelly, playing her role, who also happens to used to work in the news media as well. No, I'm over it, bro. I'm done with the coincidences. That stuff is weird. So when she buys that, it's to sort of put this story to bed. It's to help people understand that, hey, what they're saying happened, because this is the only thing that would explain what happened to Charlie. He lost his life. Nothing else to see here. We're going to put this man to, we're going to stick a needle in him. That's what I'm advocating for, and it's over with. That's crazy to me.
You know what the scariest thing about
her role, allegedly.
You know what the scariest thing about the whole Snake Eyes thing, though, that most people don't even know?
What?
That in the original cut of that movie, they all died at the end. They redid the ending because it wasn't testing well.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I found that out recently. At the end of that movie, the storm comes and wipes them all away.
That's wild. I mean, even down to the fact that you had a blonde in an all-white blazer looking over Charles Kirkland when he goes down, and it's the same suit that Erica wears in her first speech to address today. It's just odd, just all odd stuff. And of course, it's only people. This is what I'm saying to Candace's credit. Candace is the only one of that level who would normally entertain that. Now, I have noticed that Candace hasn't said anything about Snake Eyes, anything about the music video, or in detail about the music video. She's slightly referenced it here and there. And I could speculate why. The innocent reason could be because she don't want to give them any ammo to say that she's entertaining conspiracy theories. She only want to stick to what she can prove. Anything that just so happens to be in alignment with the music video or with the
and I'm kind of like that too. You know, you start going down that avenue and it's really it becomes like, look at us. We've all done it, and now we get stuck on it. And you know, it's really
you don't get
hard.
stuck on it. Like if you just share with people, like, look what I found, take it or leave it, and we keep going. We it's not like you sit in it, you're obsessed over it, you're going crazy, you're looking like Blake in the eyes. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can point out some things that you've noticed, take it or leave it. I know that we know that Predictive Pro. I don't know if you all are aware or if you've seen it on this channel or another channel, but the whole Illuminati card game thing.
Yeah.
Say what you want. It's there. The information is there. Predictive programming is a real thing. And it's
then you look at the X post about the Hanta virus and Cole Allen.
Right.
And then you look at various other things. Obviously.
Right. I'm not saying like that should be all you should go off of, but to pretend like it's not there, you got to tell somebody that you're seeing and noticing these things.
It exists. Yeah.
It exists, you know.
Like I said, I always try to break everything down to math, and everything is a factor in the equation.
That's a fact.
Can I jump back here? Y'all were talking about the resuscitation techniques earlier. I was a firefighter, EMT, rode on the back of an ambulance for 4 years. I saw some things go down and whatnot. But when you have a bleed like that, you have to get some sort of material on that, or gauze, direct pressure. You start packing the wound. There have been other guys who are combat vets who have attested to the same thing. You don't just grab somebody by the arm and the leg and transport that way. It's just one, when there's no other external threat. Two, there's EMTs standing by. Three, you got cervical. I mean, you might be killing him by moving him. So there's all sorts of things that just come, the common sense crap that comes into play, where it's just like, no, it doesn't work that way. You know, just like, so.
Also, and then when you've got other, like the first text message that went out to the campus regarding the shooting didn't go out until 88 minutes after the shot. Okay. And then it even said in the, bro, there's so many things, like the night before, two times. So at 2:35 in the afternoon on the 9th of September, somebody emailed looking to speak with Charlie Kirk about something important. That didn't get relayed, or that we don't know that it got relayed. And then that night, 10:35 at p.m.
Where did you
Hold
get
on,
that
let me
from?
finish. It's in the. I can send you the link. I can send you the video where I covered it. So it's in the. I got Chief Long's correspondence from that whole week, basically, and then the week after. And so in that correspondence, there's somebody that emailed Chief Long's office, and which I imagine at Chief Long is the UVU security chief, police. I imagine that there's security that are in this email chain or text chain. So somebody emailed looking to get a hold of Charlie Kirk. And then on top of it, I mean, if you want me to look, I could pull it up. It would be interesting to show if you guys haven't seen it. And then that night, 2 people claiming to be GOP senators wanted to speak to the police about a plan regarding Charlie Kirk. You haven't heard of this?
Never in life.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to pull this up then. Let me.
Are y'all familiar with this?
Yeah.
First time hearing it. And I listen a lot.
Way.
Yeah, I'll find it.
I've never heard Candace share this. Did Candace share this?
No. I told Elizabeth Lane, she was just as shocked as I am about it. Let me pull it up and I think I have the link in my video.
If you shared this in the video, you don't have to send it yourself. I'll send that to Candace.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let me find it right here. I want to pull up the PDF and I can just straight up show you, or I just pull up the video. Let me see. It's in here somewhere.
Somebody said that Baron knew. Okay, so I still want to send it to Candace, like just to make sure that she's seen it. Like, no, that's kind of crazy.
All right, give me a second and I'll look for it right now.
All right.
Yeah, here it is. Do you want me to just share my screen?
Yeah.
All right, bet. It's this one is 6 minutes long, so it's not too bad. I did it in a lot. Yeah, I got it right here. Chrome tab, GOP. All right. At Blank's office are not the 2 gentlemen who showed up at Blank's office are not from a senator's office. They are representatives. Sick, bro. So my nose is all that. I said blank. Who played like they knew more than they did. What do you think they knew about? And why are they acting like they knew more than they did? And then why do they say that makes more sense? This is a police chief who reports to me, just came to my office. So it sounds like everyone's freaking out. Came to my office letting me know that 2 senators are coming tomorrow. He said that 2 people showed up at their offices asking to talk to police about a plan. Redacted said they got them to police. If this is indeed true, we do need to notify cabinet. Does anyone have any additional information? Okay, so again, everyone and then a redacted name from Event Services who reports to me just came to my office letting me know that 2 senators are coming tomorrow. He said that 2 people showed up at their offices asking to talk to police about a plan. Said they got them to the police. And if this is indeed true, we do need to notify cabinet. Does anyone have additional information? End quote. 2 people physically showed up at the UVU office at 10 p.m. at night. The night before the Kirk event, they did not get a call. They did not call anyone. They did not email. They showed up in person. They asked to talk to police about a plan, not about the event, not about logistics, about a plan. That is the word used in the document. The staff member who received them reportedly got them to police. What happened after that is not documented anywhere in these pages. And the person reporting this in the chat considered it serious enough to notify the cabinet. The cabinet at a university means the president's office, the top of the institution. This was not treated as routine. Okay.
What? Hold on. Pause this. Where did you? So where's this document from?
This is from the a news station. Basically, it's not like a subpoena, but it was like a FOIA type of request. It's not FOIA exactly, but they requested to get the UVU campus chief police Long's correspondence.
So is this on any website officially? Is this an official post?
Yeah.
It's in the description.
I might have it in the description. I thought I did. Oh shit! I uploaded it without the PDF.
All right, that's fine. If you can just get that over to me in due time, like that'd be dope.
Yeah. Let me see if I show the other one too. There's a couple of things in here. Let me see. This is news to me. Do we know that? Let me see. Another name said there would be. Let me see. We knew more than they did. Yeah, it's very strange, bro. Okay. And then also earlier, the 2 gentlemen. Yeah. I just kind of went through it a couple of times. But then earlier, also that same day, I'll find the PDF and I'll share it with you.
Okay, dope. And it was also, I just remembered, bro, like when I said earlier that it was you that I've seen a couple of your videos before. I've actually reacted to your content before and I tagged you and gave you credit. It was also you, Danks, that revealed, I believe you were the first to reveal that Eric actually like ran for politics or something like that.
Yeah, in 2020.
That's crazy. She was the opposite of what I don't know, bro.
Yeah. She ran. She signed her name. She had to because when you run as so it was a write-in ballot vote for the Maricopa County Precinct Committeeman position, which was where Tyler Boyer started out his career, and he worked up from there. It's a very unique position because of the nature of that position. You get a lot of access and you get a lot of decision and power, and then you get I forget now, it's been a little bit, but yeah, bro, August 4th 2020, 9 months before she married Charlie, she went and ran and she got 1 vote. What's the purpose of that? It's a qualified write-in,
dude.
That's probably more votes than she would get today.
Oh wow, that's a fact. Yeah, man. Did y'all see my debate with? I debated some lady named Lisa. She's affiliated with the guy.
Yo, I didn't believe it was real. Somebody showed me like there was like an animated version of it, and I'm like, yo, that's really messed up what they're doing to her voice. And then they're like, no, like that's the real voice. So then we played the real. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was rolling.
What is it? Tell me about it.
Oh,
all right. So this person
pull it up.
named Lisa.
Just pull it up.
She's let me pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, let me just go to.
Do you have
this
clip?
Person,
we'll get the live reaction. Thanks, you're gonna die.
She is she's affiliated with the guy. What's his name from that was working with Andrew Kovett, the YouTuber, or as Candace says, the obscure YouTuber.
Yo,
the dude.
I don't even know.
The shooter dude that covers.
You're talking about Life is Driving.
Oh no! He's talking about Gary, Paramount Tactical.
Paramount Tactical.
That schmuck.
Gary.
That dude. So it's funny. You're gonna see the thumb. I'm gonna show you the thumbnail too, so you can. Nah, they didn't do anything to her voice, man. This is her real voice. So that's her there. You see that thumbnail?
Yo.
Where is it?
Yo, it's crazy. I didn't show you this, thanks.
All right.
Nah, bro.
Oh my god.
Transformation.
I hope you don't need to piss.
What do you have after 6 months of this rigmarole that we've had online? What do you have to substantiate that there is another finger that we can point somewhere outside of Tyler Robinson? Because even with the law, there's obviously different opinions, but Baron Coleman is not connected to this case in any way, shape, or form, and he's also financially benefiting off of this narrative that he's spinning. So no, I'm not going to take someone who's financially benefiting and is in Candace Owens' pocket.
Okay,
I don't think that anybody told anything that was near Charlie Kirk. I think that the whole thing is just the same anti-Semitic trope that we've been seeing for 2 years now, since October 7th, that Israel and the Jews are to blame for everything. Yeah, and you have Andrew Kovett saying, I went to a top-ranking government official who can get this into the hands of the people who are a part of this investigation, and I gave it to him in confidence to give it to who it needs to go to.
Lisa, why do you think he gave it to him?
That's way more than this random Harrison dude.
Got you. Hey, Lisa, here's a great question. Why do you think Andrew Kovett gave that to Joe King?
He told you why he did.
Why? Tell me. I want you to tell me.
Because he wanted them to have that for the investigation.
Why would they?
Hold on, run that back. Run that back real quick. What is it?
This is just the intro.
Okay. Go ahead.
You're gonna see all of this again.
Why he did.
Why? Tell me. I want you to tell me.
Because he wanted them to have that for the investigation. He thought that was an important piece of information for them to look at.
Right. What about that text message thread was important? What was it that Charlie said that was important? That Andrew Kovett thought it was so important. Now, don't lose your tongue now. Why was it so important? Oh, yeah. Didi got a podcast.
Nice intro, bro. Banging. You do your editing?
Yeah, I do everything.
That's fine.
Over the last 6 months, it's been a consistent, steamroll of information that's being put out. I'm not going to sit here and cosplay a trial. We're not lawyers. You're not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, unless you have a legal degree that I don't know about. But at the end of the day, as someone who debates,
she's insufferable.
I kind of think that this is ridiculous, but Also, I'm not.
Hold
feeling
on.
the greatest,
Can
so
you
I'm
give
not in
me
the best
some?
mood. I'm
Can you
just
give me
gonna-
some back context?
Okay,
on who
yeah,
she is?
for sure. So this person, Lisa, has been going back and forth as of a few weeks ago. She was going back and forth with Baron, and she was going back and forth with Candace. So she was, well, I don't know if Candace directly responded to it, but she was going back and forth with Baron. She's been working closely with the guy Gary from Paramount Tactical. She's been on the show a few times. You know, Andrew Covid is working close with them. Anyway, she's been talking about a lot of things. I think she tagged me a couple of times. And I was like, look, if you want to come onto the show, come onto the show. And to my surprise, she's done it. I don't know if you know this about me, but I've also had a conversation with a guy by the name of John Amenchukwu, who is a pastor at TPUSA.
You had him on, didn't you? I haven't seen it, but I've been wanting to see it.
I had him on. I was shocked. I'm always shocked when any of them decide to actually come on with any of us that have opposing views, because you're going to be embarrassed. He decided to come on. I was extremely respectful. He made a fool of himself. Anyways, she's the only person that's agreed to come on since him. So she agreed to come on. I start off the interview because this is only a clip or a snippet of she came onto the live. She comes onto the show. I start off treating it like a court trial. I gave my opening statement, told the audience why it is that I believe that Tyler Robinson is clearly not the number one suspect here, why I do believe that he will be found not guilty, and why everybody else should believe the same thing. I go down a list of reasons. That's why the clip starts off, because I actually edited that part out so that you can just get sort of the gist of how this dialogue went. But what she essentially said was, this isn't trial. This is not a trial. We're not going to treat it like one. I'm not an attorney. She's not one. Let's just stick to the facts. And then she proceeds to say things that are not true. So
does she have a platform, or is she?
She has a Twitter account. I think she has a YouTube.
What's her Twitter account called?
What is it? Lisa the something. I put it on the screen. I'll have to see.
The Insufferable.
So we can watch like maybe 2-3 minutes of this, and then we can cut it off.
Yeah.
Admit that to you right now. This is not my best self. At the end of the day.
Oh yeah, you missed that. She gave us a heads up at the beginning and said that she just want to let everybody know she's not her best self. So if she makes a fool of herself, people know why.
Disclaimer.
Topics. I kind of think that this is ridiculous, but also I'm not feeling the greatest, so I'm not in the best mood. I'm just going to admit that to you right now. This is not my best self. At the end of the day, unless you have something to present that is substantial to tell us that we can go in another direction outside of Tyler Robinson, what the state has provided in that charging document, you cannot put something on a charging document that doesn't exist. You cannot hold a man behind bars just for shits and giggles. That's not how this works. At the end of the day, there's a very real system here and a real process that has been working in this country for hundreds of years. Is it perfect? No. But typically, most of the time, it works the way that it should. Unless you can get, like you said, enough reasonable doubt, and then you get a Casey Anthony or you get an OJ Simpson. And is that truly what you want to happen in this situation? That if this man truly pulled the trigger and you're wrong, are you okay with him being able to walk because of the circus that has been created online?
No, but let me address something. You said that it's not fair because we're not actual attorneys. Well, Lisa, the reason why I started off the way that I did is because the man is actually on trial for real. It's not like we're just saying somebody that they haven't arrested.
But what expertise do you have in the legal system?
None.
Have you taken a single law class?
Nope.
Nope, me neither. I'm not going to sit here and try to be something that I'm not. At the end of
Wait
the day,
for it.
I am not a legal expert. If you want to talk to a legal expert, you need to get Andrea Burkhart or somebody like that on your show.
The problem is, Lisa, you don't actually care if somebody's
my
a
question
legal
is,
expert.
what do you have after 6 months of this rigmarole that we've had online? What do you have to substantiate that there is like another finger that we can point somewhere outside of Tyler Robinson?
Got you. All right. So Lisa, again, you don't actually care if somebody is a legal expert or not, because you're actually arguing with attorneys that take the position that I'm taking. So you don't actually care about that. So don't pretend that you do. Second of all,
that's not what I said. I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am a legal expert or have any legal
but somebody with
that
a legal
I do not have, and you should not be doing so either.
That's fair. But what I'm saying to you is, but the people that are, you also have a problem with their position.
I do, because even with the law, there's obviously different opinions, but Baron Coleman is not connected to this case in any way, shape, or form. And he's also financially benefiting off of this narrative that he's spinning. So no, I'm not going to take someone who's financially benefiting and is in Candace Owens' pocket.
Okay. I can't argue with that because I don't know if that's true. That may be true. I don't know.
He literally said on his podcast last night that he was on the phone with her. So what do you think? She plays his clips on her show. It's very clear that they are in cahoots with one another.
Got you. So do you find it a bit suspicious that people have foreknowledge about what happened to Charlie? Let's start there.
Where is the proof that somebody had foreknowledge outside of Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs?
Okay. This here. What is this man talking about here? How would he know this?
Watch her response.
Why would he say this?
What are we pointing at here? Explain this. I've never even seen this before.
Okay, so this is Harrison Smith. He works with A. Jones. I'm not allowed. I can't say his name on YouTube, but
and that was before, right?
What is it called? InfoWars.
Before what?
Before that was before it happened. Yeah, I was told.
It was 2 weeks. Yeah,
2 weeks before.
The date is right there. It's August 10th, 2025.
Yeah.
A month before, or a couple of months before, Harrison Smith tweets this. To this day, he won't tell us who told him this. Who was the person around Charlie Kirk that said this to him? Not to mention, it's been said multiple times. I'm going to try not to do the hearsay.
He says, I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. Okay? This is the whole anonymous source thing that is absolute garbage. Again, if you're not willing to go on record and show your face, and you're saying that you have information that is going to get Charlie Kirk killed in a couple of months, or at this point, this was posted on, was this August 25th?
I'm sorry, hold on. Let me move the banner. This was August 13th.
So August 13th. So you have evidence that Charlie Kirk is potentially going to be killed in a matter of, what was that, 3 weeks? In 3 weeks, Charlie Kirk is going to be killed, and you're not going to go on record or like do anything to try to help this situation other than put out some like anonymous random slop on the internet with no backing and no proof of anything. This is not proof.
Lisa, you're sounding like us. Welcome to our side. This is the same question that we're asking. The words that you just spewed.
What if, like, I've thought about this, and I know, I mean, I've interviewed with Harrison. He's had me on his show. Seems like a great guy. I like him. So I'm not saying anything else except for I'm posing a question.
Okay.
Sky, whatever, the music video or the painting. Okay, the song and the painting. You know what I'm talking about? Charlie dead at 31. It was put out 3 weeks before Charlie was killed.
The what?
Jesse, the song that was put out with the painting, the drawing of someone on the roof. You haven't seen this?
No.
Someone put up a Jesse covered it. I can send you that too. But basically, someone made a song. I'm trying to create a picture here for you.
Okay.
So someone made a song before Charlie was killed, and it had somebody in prone position with a sniper with mountains in the background. It looks just in crayon, just like the UVU shot from the side, like if you're on the roof looking at someone in prone position with the mountains behind them. And there was a song that said Charlie dead at 31, and then it was also that painting. Okay, then you've got Harrison putting that out. Okay, and then you have the guy, Tyler B, or what's his name, that made that prediction that got 3 million views or whatever.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
What if all of this stuff was put up there to create confusion? You know what I mean? Ahead of the time.
Like,
there's multiple predictions of this happening. One from like the left saying that this is going to happen. These radical leftists. You've got from
wait, where have we seen anything of the left saying it was going to happen before it happened?
Because these people it was from the Unfuck America tour. They're like connected and interwoven with that community.
Well, I'm familiar that they're connected to the guy who was asking Charlie the last question, but what I'm Kozak, the Kozak kid. But what I'm asking is, what do you mean though? Like, I'm not
because what I'm saying is, what if hypothetically, I'm just posing a hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
What if all of these people are just putting information out? They knew it was going to happen, and it was to muddy the waters on actually who was involved and how and why. See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. That's a very good point. I spoke to
why
Tommy.
wouldn't they speak out about, like, why wouldn't Charlie, or why wouldn't the security, or why wouldn't they up their game and up the ladder? You know what I mean? It's very concerning.
That's a very good point. And I spoke to Tommy on the show, and because his was crazier than Harrison's, as you know, he got even more specific. He was like, Charlie
open
is
air.
going to be, if they were to take him out, they're going to take him out at an open air event, and then they're going to blame it on some. I mean, he used the term groiper, but it still works. They're going to blame it on some kid, and I'm like, dog, what?
Yeah, it was wild.
That's crazy. I'm like, bro, you got to come on. And he just basically his explanation was that he's a historian. He looks at just how things have happened in the past, and he looks at sort of who propped up Charlie, what Charlie is known for doing, and the best way to take out Charlie, if they were to take him out, is the way that they introduced us to Charlie, which is in the public sphere, right?
I'm trying to.
That's a great question. I've entertained that too. But I do want to ask the video, the crayon, the mountains, and all of that. Was that on Twitter or X?
Jesse on Fire found it. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Okay,
I found it right here.
The reason I'm asking is because a fair response that I've seen more recently after the complete psyop that took place at the White House ballroom, someone said, "Okay, Didi, I get what you're coming from," and I saw some responses on Twitter as well. The Cole Allen tweet from the Henry Rodriguez person, and even other tweets. They said, "Well, I want people to understand the Hanavirus, or whatever it's called." There was a tweet from years ago. All right, cool. But they said that there are people that will create accounts and just tweet a lot of different things, and then once one actually applies to a situation, they'll go back and delete the ones that are irrelevant and just keep the one that actually applied. Now it looks like they're this profit. Or another explanation could be, and I'm just trying to be devil's advocate, if you will, another explanation could be people that have access to sort of the back workings of Twitter, and they have the ability to actually edit tweets. And maybe it's a person that gets into the coding and they change the tweet that gives us just a little bit of reason to believe that there's something else going on here. So
check out that and see what you think. I think he explains some of that stuff in there. And I don't think Harrison was involved or anything. I think that if anything, most likely is Charlie like scared and, you know, reaching out, but like it's strange for sure.
Yeah.
Didi, going back to what you were talking about there, to put another string on our, bulletin board thing, there were some ties to the shooting, the transgender shooting, like 2 weeks before this all went down, and they said that over the Discord lines that they were communicating with Tyler Robinson, and they were all part of a Utah LBGT LMNO PQRS group and so forth. So just to look at it from a different perspective, maybe this was a planned op to try and, we've had too many shootings. Look, even your great leader Charlie Kirk was shot. We've got to clamp down on guns or something. If we look at it from different angles, there may be different motives behind what may be driving all this. So just to be objective again.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put in the private chat if you want. You don't have to, but I did put the crayon drawing and stuff like that where Jesse's covering it with the timestamp.
Okay, here, let's play that. That'll be the last video that we'll react to here.
Seven minutes 45 in.
Time for introductions today. I cannot stress enough the amount of information that we are going to go through on this video. Now, I alluded to you guys earlier.
If you want to go to 7:45,
7:45.
Yeah, right about there. Yeah.
Beautiful pictures of this person. Okay, so that's also Sky Valadez, and so is this one. Now, if you look at that picture, that really does look like the guy with the bullhorn. This one specifically looks like the guy with the bullhorn, probably after, I don't know, 6 months of hormones or something like that. Why don't you check this one out, though? Okay, so from Sky Valadez's Instagram, prior to thinking that they deleted it, but they didn't, right? Not like this is not permanently, right? It's a rough world if you think you can delete things and they go away and then you find out that you can't. But on August 13th, okay, 3.5 weeks before Charlie Kirk was on his way to Utah Valley,
which is the same exact day of Harrison's tweet. The same day.
It is?
Yes.
Oh,
August
wow.
13th.
Oh, shit. Good
Yo, that's
catch,
wild.
bro. See?
which is their account, posted
Good
I
catch.
didn't think about that.
with a painting or drawing of a person in a prone position with an AK-47 right next to them. Okay, roof. And that same week, they posted a song called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. Okay. So I don't know. This is the kind of thing that just seems a little bit relevant, right? You know, it's one thing where they're like, oh yeah, the Charlie Kirk thing, the Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 song. It's a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. Oh yeah. What about the fact that they posted this picture that they hand drew, roof? Okay. Roof with an AK-47, like the same day. Okay. You think that's still coincidence? And then Charlie Kirk gets shot by someone on a roof 3.5 weeks later. You know what I mean? Like that makes sense. Seems like that person's probably involved. Certainly, if you can connect that person to the people that you know are almost certainly the shooters, Tyler Robinson, Lance Twiggs. Oh, there's this also, right? There's this also that they tried to fake their death a few days after Charlie Kirk was killed. Sky Valadez, Ogden, Utah. Sky Valadez passed away recently. Okay, so now we're going to move over to Lance Twiggs, the transgender boyfriend.
So does he, just curious, does he ever share in this video the song itself, or will I have to go and check that out?
I don't think that he does. I don't remember where that is, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you could share the music. I mean, you can, but
I don't even know where that song is. I can ask him. I can call him real quick or text him. I don't know if it's still on the internet. Let me call him real quick. I don't know if it's even out still.
That's cool.
But he'll be surprised when I tell him about what you just said.
Yo, Didi, thank you for sharing your platform too. You're a real one for that.
No problem, bro.
Appreciate you inviting me on as well.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime y'all want to do this, man, I'm open to it as long as I have time to do it.
Yeah. Well, now that I got your email, I'll send you some of my contact information. And if you ever want to link up off camera, go over some notes and stuff, I'll share some of the stuff I got too.
Sounds good, bro. Why'd he mute it? We want to hear his reaction. I want to hear his reaction.
Nah, but yo, I really like the way you think. I've been watching. It's hard, especially because I'm a new content creator, and it's like,
how new are you?
I started this channel in December. I started putting out content. I only started doing lives in February.
Dang, bro, this dope. Well, I've been on YouTube since 2020. I started while I was in graduate school, and when I started, I mean that was 2020. I didn't do my first live until like a day or two before the whole Charlie Kirk incident. Literally a day or two, I did my first 100,000 subscriber appreciation week. So I was on YouTube for 5 years before I did my first live.
Yeah, I was camera shy my entire life, and I started going really deep down the rabbit holes back in like May, and then around the time Charlie left the board, that was when I started like really like realizing that like how the community was on YouTube. And I was like trying to send everybody supers, like giving my notes, giving my tips. And it was Ian. He's like, dude, just make content, make a video. I'll check it out. He's like, yeah, and then I did. I started, getting some love, and now I'm trying to do it full time.
Congrats. Oh, that's a big step. Full time. That's dope, bro. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, I'm like all or nothing with everything I do. It's like
what?
Anytime I do anything, it's all or nothing. It's like, I'm either like totally locked in and it's all I'm doing, or it's like I'll just blow it off.
I mentioned graduate school earlier, bro. So I went and got my master's degree in 2020. I started in 2020, graduated in 2022. And so I worked a little bit in corporate America for about 1.5 years. Extremely progressive, realized it was not for me. I didn't do my due diligence on the organization. They fired me when they found out about the podcast, which I can openly talk about, at least that much. Similar to Candace, I did sign an NDA, so there are certain things I can't talk about, but I am comfortable enough to say that they fired me because they found the podcast. And there were certain things that I said about the election that was common sense about, like, men can't be women and women can't be men, and they fired me for it. And I was like, I'm gonna, you know, by the grace of God, I'm gonna see what God has in store for me, and I'm gonna lean into this very thing and the very reason I got fired, and I'm gonna see if I can do this full time. And fortunately, and this is such a weird thing to say out loud, but it's just the truth. Unfortunately, the Charlie Kirk situation took place, so there's this strong appetite and there's this supply for the truth of what truly happened that day. Obviously, they're lying to us. And so you have people who are demanding, right? So sort of this supply of truth. So there's supply and demand. And as long as you're bold enough to want to cover it, people are going to about, I'd say there's probably about 10 to 20 of us that's sort of dedicated to this, at least in the YouTube world. And obviously Candace being at the top of that list, being that she personally knew Charlie as well. And so they ended up working out in my favor in the oddest way, and as far as like attracting new people. And so I've just been growing from there. But I always say my best content is my older content. I have a Martin Luther King documentary that if you ever want your mind blown, bro,
I'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure. It's pinned on the channel. It's worth it. I promise.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. I've been covering different things, so it's like I wasn't really playing the game and riding the algorithm like like Danks was telling me. He's like, dude, like find your thing and stick to it. I'd have a video that would like do good. I get a couple thousand views, which is a lot for my channel at the time.
He
and then
never
all of a sudden
listens,
I'm going right back to to the files. You know what I mean?
Look, you said full time with it. I wish you the utmost success. You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. And depending on how deep you want to go on YouTube, if you want success on YouTube, it's probably best not to do things that are too deep. You're probably going to have to start a Patreon to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be a DD, which means like the content is there. The views are not always going to come. That's any YouTuber in general. Like you're going to fight the algorithm. But I'm saying like not to victimize myself or anything. I'm just giving you the reality while you're early on in the stages.
My second live got cut.
Don't put yourself in that position, because what'll happen, you like, you know what? I've been through that. I'm gonna start making safe content. It doesn't matter. Your channel's already been hit, and they already have their eyes on you, and they're gonna hit you, and you're gonna be like, my content is just as good. There's just as much substance as this person who is similar in size and growing like I am. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. So don't put that target on your back like I have.
Yeah, my first live, I was covering the deposition of Les Wexner, and then my second live, I was covering our not so greatest ally and the Tucker Mike Huckabee interview, and they cut my live a half hour in.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Really?
It'll happen.
Thanks. The second one.
Why'd you mute yourself, man? I wanted to hear his organic reaction, hearing that it's the same date.
I should have, but I didn't. I don't like to. I'm not like Blake, just like throwing people's recordings out.
Oh, no, that's fair.
It's a two-party state,
What'd he say?
But he was like, "Oh, so you're telling me that there's just more evidence to go to my conclusion, huh? Makes sense."
No, that's dope, man. This was fun, quite a bit. You all said thank you for sharing my platform. I don't see it that way. You saw what I did. I invited whoever wanted to come up here. I don't see it that way at all. So anytime you all want to do this again and just chop it up, and Jesse, if you see this chat, bro, I love to collab with you as well. Let's do it. My audience has been begging me to work with Coach Colin, who I believe reached out. They said he said he reached out to me. I have to figure out where he reached out to me.
I gotta connect. I can DM him if you want.
Yeah, so I think he may have reached out on Twitter, because that's normally the one I don't check as much. So I'm gonna check my Twitter. That's probably where he reached out to me. I know we've spoken briefly before, and we'd have to get some work in for sure. I appreciate you all. Dope dog. Is it a boy or girl?
This is Mikey. He's a boy. He's a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Oh, wow.
I have 3 of them.
Big.
He's a big old boy. He weighs 130 pounds.
Oh, wow. That's big.
And there's this one.
Dang, that's dope. Oh.
Do you want to, if you want to send me, you want to get connected with me somehow, I guess email me something, and then I'll connect you with Coach.
All right, that works.
Or whoever. Connect you with Blake too. I told him that you want to talk to him, but he's.
Yeah, I have him. Yeah, I'm do that.
I'll
do that.
him.
See if he comes on, and we can have a conversation again.
Yeah,
Once again, man.
Oh, sorry. I just want to tell you, me and Danks, we do a show on Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So anytime you want to hop on with us, chop it up again. Like we do this every Saturday night.
Yeah, we have a Saturday night show together, and then I would love to have you on the show during the week as well.
Heck yeah, we can do that. And it just dawned on me that you all actually know each other. Like I brought on two people that happen to know each other. So I guess that makes sense because the audience was telling me you two who I should bring on. So that's dope. Hopefully I can have the four of you on again. And
I do want to say one thing. Like if anybody's watching, look at how we had this conversation. Like anybody out there saying like, oh, Danks wasn't fair or oh, Bays is one-sided. No, like we went through, this was like a 12-dimensional conversation. And that's how I approach things. I am never, and Didi, I put a super chat, you probably get to it later. I said, I really respect your neutrality. And I try to do the same.
You hear that, Megan Kelly? We're nuanced.
We all need to have that perspective because as soon as you start being blind to any other side, that is when you start missing the most important things in life and also in the most important things in an investigation. That's so I appreciate you for that, bro.
Thank you for the compliment, brother. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you all's time, man. Like you all make my show more dynamic when you're willing to come on. Because as you saw, a lot of people at Bays, I think it was just a disconnect. I don't think they was allowing emails to be shared in the chat for some reason. But I was like, put your email in the chat if you want to converse. And I'm like,
yeah, and then you put yours up too quick. I was trying to rewind it. I couldn't find it. I already talked. I'm like, damn, I gotta get this thing.
Heck yeah. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind on Saturday nights. That's normally my time with my fiance. I'm getting married later this year.
Oh, congratulations!
Which is a crazy time in the world to be getting married.
Congrats, bro.
I appreciate that. So let's do this again. We'll be in contact. I have each of you all's email. Sir Major Dumas, I don't believe you're a content creator, but even if you are or not, I don't care. You're free to come back on as well. And I mean that. I won't tell you something I don't mean.
I appreciate that. I was trying to get my channel going about 2 months ago, bought my camera, bought my mic, headphones, everything. And this situation came up where now I'm selling my house. And so I'm going to have to postpone it a little bit, but you will be hopefully hearing from me in the future. So
absolutely. I don't know if y'all caught this, but I said I want the 5 of y'all on again. Nobody caught that.
I caught it. I wasn't going to correct it.
Okay. That means I want to see the 2 dogs as well next time. Yeah.
I got 2 dogs here too, so we got to make it 7.
Heck yeah. Let's do that. Hey, I appreciate you all again. I'll catch you all in the next one.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That was dope. What? I don't get to do that often. Dang, man. I knew it was going to be a dope conversation, but that was dope. Dang, I really like them, man. Like I don't have to agree with the person to like them. I just want a dope discussion, right? Dialogue. And that was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. And I wasn't expecting so much nuance. I thought I was going to get somebody who like totally didn't see it that way, but they were allowed that they allowed me to see how and why they see Blake the way they do, which was never in contention, right? Or I never had a problem with them having suspicions or issues with Blake. I totally understood that. But I didn't understand. I didn't expect to have so much nuance at the same time. They were like, we have good reason to be suspicious of Blake, and he's created this reputation for himself. But at the same time, I also understand this from Blake. I do believe he has a good heart. I do believe he wants to know what truly happened to Charlie. So, yeah. The best talks are people that you don't agree with if it's done right. That's a fact. That's all right. Dang, man, that was dope. All right, this live. I've never been live this long before. 3 hours? Maybe that one time I interviewed, shout out to my sister. I can't even remember her name in this very moment because I got so much going through my head. But when I interviewed my sister about the fraternities and the sororities, while I got most of you all here, or some of you all still here, follow the Clips channel. We're going to start posting clips tomorrow. We haven't posted in like a week because we was trying to get some stuff handled on the backside of things. But now that that's taken care of, if you can't watch 3.5 hour long clips like myself or lives, we're going to clip it up into like 8 minute, 12 minute, 15 minute, 7-minute clips on the Clips channel. It's going to be dope. I got a whole team that's working with me or that I'm working with. So check them out or check us out on this pin on this channel. It's called Didi Got Clips. Also, for those of you that's been my day ones and you follow my content outside of the Charlie Kirk incident, I'm going to be reacting to the 6ix9ine Banks interview. A lot of you all like, who the heck is 6ix9ine? Who is Banks? Those of you who would care to know, probably already know who these people are. 6ix9ine is a rapper. I'm going to be reacting to him exposing the music industry and how the music industry is rigged. And I already know that it's rigged, right? And so we're going to be reacting to that. That's going to be so dope. I'm going to be dropping it. I didn't realize this live was going to be so long, so I may wait until tomorrow to drop it because I know it's people that a lot of you all like to watch later in the day. And so I don't want to drop while other people dropping. So I'm going to drop it tomorrow. And so please stay tuned for that. Please hit the like button. While most of you all are still here, that will go a long way with my channel in particular. Anybody's channel, but especially mine. I need you to hit the like button, right? So that means a lot to me. So please do that. Somebody said, are you afraid of Candace? I will be. Absolutely not. I'm not afraid of anybody. If I disagree with Candace with something, I'm going to proudly and boldly say it. I don't take the position of, you don't want to pick a fight with her. Nah, that's not my position. All right. It's not picking a fight with somebody I disagree with. Would you do a live prayer for our enemies? I actually like that idea. I've done that before. Not a bad idea. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Also, thank you for the $2 super chat as well. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Hey, Didi, love your take. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Up with the BM. Up with BM. And my girl, always looking out for me, man. If ain't nobody else rocking with me, Gina rocking with me. Gina, if ain't nobody else gonna be here, Gina gonna be here rocking with your boy. So, Gina, as always, thank you so much for sending me so much of your money. You better not be going broke over there sending me your money. I'm always appreciative. I'm 15 minutes late. Just want to say I really don't care about podcast or drama. This stuff's getting old, although I love hearing your opinion. Still waiting for your Kobe series. Oh, don't do that. Okay. Been debating different ways to support you. Got my shirt. Love you. What shirt did you get, Gina? I want to know that. I'm curious. What shirt did you get? Link is in the description to the merch store. That's another way to support your boy if you want. We have a lot of cool creative shirts over there. I got some more that's coming in so I can wear them on the show because according to my team, I don't promote the merch enough. I try not to come off as a person that's, but again, I got to remember that this is what I do full time. So it's kind of my job to do this now. So thank you, Gina, for that. Kobe series. I'll give you my word. I'll start working on the Kobe series again in the next week or two. Okay? You got my word on it, I promise. I got to put that in my notes because I'm going to forget really fast, and then I'm going to not be a man of my word. And I need to be a man of my word. All right. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Definition of defamation delivery matters. I agree. Blake is acting crazy because of the dang threats. That's debatable. I understand why you say that. I know some people would disagree and say that he's acting crazy. They're saying the dude is lying behind the scenes and making false promises and talking behind people's backs. It's odd. It's very strange behavior. His questions is legit. Delivery matters. Integrity. That's fair. I totally agree. That's fair. Thank you for the $2. Miss Jilly, as always, thank you for the $10 super chat. Blake, clowns, and all the non-bullet theories go down with him. Convenient. If TPUSA had sued Blake, it would have spread his theory, so they didn't. Anyway, we've been had. Hey, that's something to consider. Miss Jilly, okay, raises a good point. Yeah. But if they sue Candace, then much like if you only cover certain people, it makes people look in that direction and not somebody that may be closer to the target. Some people are not going to like to hear that. That's a very good point, Ms. Jilly. Always be true. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Tried to send SC, didn't work. Check general chat. Oh, tried to send super chat, didn't work. Check general chat. I'm going to miss it. That was 2 hours ago. Dang. 3 hours ago. 2 hours. Shoot, almost 3 hours ago. Sheesh. That's crazy. I've been on live for so long. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Gio. D, I don't understand your problem. Yes, he demands her, but why do I feel like you're deliberately blind to this issue? I'm not. I was trying to understand. That's how, and I hope you understand that now. I was just trying to understand. And I still fully, I'm very nuanced on the topic. I understand the criticism and the backlash that Blake is getting about his behavior, but I'm not understanding the people being upset about the questions that he's asking. I still don't agree. Thanks. Okay, here's thanks super chat. Thank you for the $10, man. I always appreciate when people choose to give me their money. It truly means that they want you to be heard, or they really support the work. Appreciate your work. Let's link on or flip. Yeah, for sure. Big fan. Respect your neutral. And try to hold the same line. Unhealthy to call everyone a fed. Sometimes people are just crazy on unhealthy of both. Hey, that's a fact. That's fair. I agree. That's fair. I just think since people have understood and found out that controlled opposition is a thing, it's kind of hard for people. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you're introduced to a new word, you want to keep using it, or you find out that you can tie your shoes a new way. That's the only way you want to tie your shoes. You know, I think it's kind of like that. It's at the forefront of your thoughts, and it's, well, I know that this is a thing, and so maybe that applies to this person. Other explanations are less likely now that I know what this new term is. You know, so yeah, heck yeah. Thanks. Let's link on my channel, Flip, for sure. We're definitely gonna do that, bro. Gina, thank you for the $20. Didn't think it was nice of everyone jumping on Blake like they did. Just ignore him. Candace doesn't need the help with that. He's losing his mind, and they're going to push him over the edge. Nobody cares about that. Sad, actually. I agree. Like, he needs to, like I said, I received some backlash as well, but I didn't flip out early on when I was like, oh, I was shocked that she didn't share Brian's work like she said she would. You know, and to this day, I'm still confused why she didn't do it, but she's not obligated to do it. I'm not saying that because she better do it, or because I expect her, or she has an obligation. I'm saying it because in an investigation, if this person is truly trying to figure out the truth like the rest of us are, why haven't they done that? Especially when they said they would. It's confusing. But because people, oh, you're jealous and you're upset, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone and keep it moving. It's fine, whatever. Would be thank you for the $5. Would be better if we can see exactly what he sent her, because we speculating like a mug. You must be from the South like me, like a mug. Or the full interaction he showed one day of correspondence. That's fair. He could have showed the other days, and I didn't think about that until after the fact. He only showed, what was it, September the 24th? He should have showed like these other interactions that Candace said that she had with him. So that's totally fair. In Candace Owens' defense, Candace Owens only recorded the call with Teryl Farnsworth because Teryl Farnsworth would not send her the video, but allowed her it and record on FaceTime. If he allowed her to, then that does changes the dynamics, which I've already admitted that I will definitely renege what I said if it turns out that he knew. And maybe she said that he knew from the jump and I just forgot. But if everything in this comment is true, except for the fact that he didn't know, I don't really care. In other words, in Candace Owens' defense, Candace Owens only recorded the call with Teryl Farnsworth because he would not send her the video. Doesn't matter. Did he know that he was being recorded? Because if not, it falls into the same category with Blake. Candace didn't know she was being recorded. And for the record, I want to repeat again, Candace had every right to record him, in my opinion. I'm not talking about legally. I'm saying it makes sense in this investigation why you would do it. I would have done the same thing too. Always be true. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I think Blake was talking about several different videos. His and the one from Teryl backshot that Candace Owens was sitting on was a confusing rant. Yeah, it was. Out of context, it was. I don't know the context to the rant, to be fair, though. But I understand. What to think of Danks? Shout out by Ian. Member show with Baron. Legit question. I don't follow him, but heard of him too much lately. Huh. I don't know. I'm not sure myself. I know I've seen his stuff once here and there, and I know that he interviewed Blake. But like, I've spoken to pretty much all these people that y'all are naming. I've spoken to them at least once, either via email or Twitter. We've probably retweeted each other, something. I don't collab with a lot of people in general, like other content creators. I try to be careful with what I do. Not like if I'm on live and I want to bring somebody up that's different, I'll bring anybody on and talk with them as long as they're not a troll. But as far as content creators, I try to be strategic and careful because it's just a lot of moving parts that go on sometimes. That's all. See all of Ian's podcast, Real Deal Research. Oh, I'm well aware. He has great work. I remember his stuff from TikTok, man, going into grocery stores, exposing what's truly in these, the ingredients of these different foods that we eat, and also like the tampons. That's one of the most infamous videos I remember from Ian when he exposed like how tampons are made and what goes into it. I'm like, what? Women need to see this because they're putting this in their bodies, So yeah. So I was like, women definitely need to see that video. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Did he watch Dank's video after interview with Blake? He figured out the app. Okay, I read this already. Yeah, I definitely he figured out that it can be edited like the date and the email address, which is super sketchy. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Miss Sharon. Didi, thank you for standing for truth no matter who it supports. That's a fact. Thank you so much. I always love comments like that because they get it. She gets it. Thank you. Real Bays, shout out to Real Bays, man. I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you for your money, bro. You didn't have to send me your money. Blake told me his backyard security cameras recorded the audio and that it wasn't intentional. Why would he lie if his intentions were good? Very good point, which you shared with me once you came onto the platform. I wasn't aware before. Somebody said Ian is a Fed. Obviously, he came out of nowhere. I can't confirm nor deny that. I know Ian is super popular. But I also know that Ian does a lot of work and a lot of research. I don't know if anybody's backing him. I can't confirm nor deny that. I can't let my emotions, which is I like Ian's work, I can't let that get in the way of objectivity. So the safest answer for me to give you is I honestly don't know the answer to that. I'm not upset with you for believing that. I think Ian has definitely heard this before, and if he's not a Fed, I'm sure he's probably addressed it. I don't know. Did I like that you are an independent thinker? Absolutely. Absolutely. Always. All righty. Let's see here. Willing for you to thank you for the follow super chat. Willing to pay for you to see this. Trust is earned and builds up in an account. Candace has millions in that account. Blake is overdrawn. Somebody said, and you are too. I'm overdrawn? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Thank you for your money, though. Here you go, G. I'll take that. Gina, thank you so much once again for the $20 super chat. When I say Candace Owens doesn't need help, I mean piling on Blake Bednars and that other podcasters are not caring. Not talking about us regular folks, right? No, I got you. What's happened to our humanity? It's hard to watch. Nobody should be tearing others down sad. Like, that's the weird part to be like, that comes with influence, though. That's what's unfortunate, man. Like, if Candace against somebody, her audience is most likely going to be against somebody. And if you just so happen to be somebody who's not as powerful as a Ben Shapiro, who can pay for stuff and create this facade because he has the power and the money and the influence and the connections and the resources, if you're a regular Joe Schmo, which we're assuming that Blake is, then, I mean, you're going to have to suffer the wrath of her audience. That's why I try to think independent even in those moments. Like, do I really feel this way about Blake, or am I feeling this way because a content creator is telling me to feel this way, And she said, including Blake. No, that's a fact. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Didi, he has a lot of footage that is majorly zoomed out, like of the film crew filming George Zen. Are you saying Blake does? Didn't know that. Tommy, what's up, Tommy, bro? We actually mentioned you doing the show, bro. If you were still watching, of course, you know that by now. But yeah, shout out to you, bro. Base Didi, I think people become controlled ops without knowing it. Like when liars lie to Candace and she repeats it. Blake wants attention now. That's fair. See, Tommy is this comment alone is proof that Tommy is he's a multi-layered thinker. He's a multi-dimensional thinker. He's not like a flatline thinker. He's thinking on multiple levels at the same time and considering many different alternatives. You know, people like this is who I think more people need to listen to, because it challenges you to see beyond the pale. You know, shout out to is it Sandy Girl in Florida for the $5 super chat. Didi, don't you think if Candace has shown Blake's video that is defamation without proof of what's in Harpo's pocket? Maybe, man. Like, I think it's hard to say no to that question, because you can, as you can see, which people still are not addressing, they're still suing Candace. They're still suing her. Is nobody wanting to talk about that part? You all were saying that he was trying to set her up by showing the video footage. Okay, maybe, yes. To answer your question, yes, sure. But she never showed it and she still got sued. So why was the video even necessary? You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Gina says that it's all more distraction and chaos. Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Look at this person breaking words down. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Algorithm equals all go rig them. I'll Google rig them. That's something to think about. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Jody. Something to think about. Yes, two to three things can be true at the same time. That's a fact. Didi, Candace does research. Maybe she vetting him before moving forward with this finding. That's possible for sure. But unless she's told us that, then I think it's not fair to just, you know, I guess we can speculate all we want, but are we choosing when we want to speculate and when we're not going to speculate? You know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe that this is definitely possible for sure. I'm not downplaying that at all. Charlie's Angels, thank you for the $20 super chat. Common denominator. If UVU say Blake shouldn't have shared this because it's neutral student footage, then okay. But if the same footage was also selectively licensed to a few news outlets, the question is who was allowed access and why? That's a very good question. But I guess I didn't think to ask that, because I guess we read that. We did read that some news outlets was. Why though? That is a great question. That's a heck of a great question, actually. I wish I had thought of that. Thank you for the $5 super chat. It's not a question of legitimacy of the video he shared. Candace may not agree with his commentary and his analysis. It's still her show. That's fair. That's fair. Thank you for the $5 super chat. She probably has her podcast prepared as Blake probably kept demanding, why does she not post his video? He became suspect. I don't. Okay. Somebody said, yes, thank you for the $5. Yes, she's obligated to show the video or give Blake a reason why it wasn't shown. Now, I wouldn't use the word obligate. I think it would make the most sense, though. After you've interacted with this person, if you choose not to share the video, which is totally up to her, she's free to do what she wants. I think it would make the most sense to say why, though. Like, okay, I changed my mind. I don't like the language. I changed my mind. It's not safe. Or it was never, I don't know. Like, again, because y'all are going to say she's not obligated to share that. Okay, fine. I think any other regular person would do that, though. But to Bay's point, we don't know what it's like to be of that caliber. Whatever. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Loving God forever. Didi, I have so much respect for you because you really showed your genuine desire to see everything from all perspectives, especially because you invited others into the show right off the cuff. No, for sure. Facts. Once I'm seeing so much pushback, I'm like, that's why I just kept asking, there's something that I'm missing here. What am I missing? You know, there's some sort of key information here that's going over my head. I know I don't have the history with the guy, but I'm like, man, how come I understand why he's asking the things that he's asking? Is it because I've been in that scenario before with Candace or what? Like, I don't know. 4 men with great integrity on one stream. Shout out to Sir Major Dumas and Danks and Bays, for sure. I wish them much success. I wish Sir Major Doom is success on selling his home. Danks with his show, Bays with his newest show. For sure. Shout out to Charlie's Angel for the $10 super chat for his glory. If he is alive, it would be a super secret mission by a few people who infiltrated a hit plan in place. They had to smoke out who the rats on the ship like they do in any Sting. I mean, maybe. Yeah, maybe. The truth is not hate speech. Fight the good fight. That's a fact. Shout out to Gina again for the $10 super chat. Great show, Diddy. So happy you allowed Danks and Bass on with you. I don't know Sir Major, but he has good based opinions too. So glad I didn't miss this one. Much needed prayers here for all of us. Definitely. And as I always say, please pray for everybody mentioned in this live stream, in this video. Pray for the gentlemen who joined and their families for sure. Somebody said, y'all be solving cases real time. Gratitude. Thank you for the $2. Shout out to Republic Tea Room. Thank you for the $10 super chat. So now TPUSA are actually the heroes for hiding Charlie Kirk, protecting him from certain death. So Candace Owens is actually trying to prove he's still alive. I'm so done with this. I'm being snarky, y'all. Oh. I was like, wait, what? I was like, you lose me a little bit. Thank you for the silver discourse, guys. Excellent chat. Thank you for that compliment, and thank you for the super chat. Music industry handshake on Hollywood. Yeah. Content is on the way. Sir Major Doomis. Shout out to Sir Major Doomis. Just spoke about my guy, man. Shout out to him and his 2 dogs. Thank you for the $10 super chat. It sure was a pleasure speaking with you, bud. We'll love to come back on anytime. Absolutely. Anytime you're in a super chat, man, and we discussing this, and I'm inviting people on, Sir Major Doomis is always going to have the first seat in the house. And if I'm not seeing if I don't see you, then obviously just send like a $2 super chat or something. But if you don't want to send your money, just email me. And if I'm checking my phone, then I'll catch it. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Is a lawsuit defamation or influence to defame? I actually don't know the answer to that. That's actually a great question. Do y'all know the answer to that question? Is it a lawsuit? Is it a defamation lawsuit, or is it an influence to? Which I don't even know if that makes a difference or not, because I guess maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't know though. I don't know. I know they were arguing that Candace was influencing people. I think that's why Danks asked, what's his name? Blake, did Candace influence him in some type of way? So I guess that was the argument that they were making. But nah, bro. Many of us, like I said, in Candace's defense, many of us was already entertaining many of these theories, especially Erica, well before Candace was. Or at least before she was publicly. You know. So, all right, y'all. I've been on live for almost 4 hours. I'm going to get up off of here. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all, as always, for tuning in. And I got a video, like I said before, I got a video that I'm working on. So if you all want to tune in for that, if you care about things like the music industry, exposing those who control the music industry and that type of stuff, even if it involves people and artists that you're not familiar with, stay tuned. I'm either going to drop that video later today or tomorrow. Please hit the like button once again. It means a lot. Link is in the description to the Patreon. If you would like access to uncensored and extended videos, link is also in the description to the merch store. Even if you just want to look around, show some love, if I can speak, show some love that way. And with that, I'm going to get up out of here. Love y'all, man. I'm Demetrius. I go by Diddy. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Diddy got a pie. Attitudes and our work ethic become very important in realizing our goals and opening up possibilities. I had lunch a couple of weeks ago with a recent graduate at UCA. And his story is really fascinating. It's one of overcoming homelessness during his time pursuing his degree, first at a community college here in Arkansas, and then finishing his bachelor's degree here at UCA. His narrative ranges from estrangement from family for many years years to hope for a reunion with mother and siblings. His record is one of overcoming odds in a way that I probably could not, and certainly demonstrating levels of tenacity and patience and optimism that I can only marvel at. He wanted to talk with me about his new job and his career path going forward. I really need to be there to learn from him because that's where the real value was.
Everything I say in this video is alleged. Allegedly. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Y'all just repeat after me. I really appreciate it. Alright. No such thing. Come on, we can do better than that. Talk to it. Talk to it. Alright, let's start it over. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. You're worse than the rich white people or the rich white Jews that own these record labels because they don't even understand these populations. You have a lot closer relationship to these people and you're leading them to hellfire. You are leading them in the wrong direction in the name of getting rich and famous. How dare you? Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.